Wings of Wonders.
A remarkable, captivating, extraordinary, and deeply romantic novel that transcends imagination, taking you on an unforgettable journey. Author Rajeev Thatte, Sydney, Australia. Avinash Chafekar and Ila Chafekar eagerly took their seats among the audience, their hearts brimming with excitement. Today, they were about to witness a once-in-a-lifetime moment, their 3-year-old daughter, Ada, delivering a 15-minute lecture on the topic New Science and Technology in Today's World. This event was organized by the Harvard Business School, New York branch, and garnered tremendous global attention from industry giants like Microsoft, Google, Tesla, Amazon, and Meta. Scientists and tech visionaries from around the world had high expectations for this groundbreaking presentation. As Ada stepped onto the stage, the auditorium erupted into thunderous applause. The ovation continued for 5 minutes straight. When the applause finally settled, Ada gracefully acknowledged the audience and requested silence before beginning her talk. Following her lecture, 5 globally renowned experts in new science and technology in today's world were set to ask her questions, which Ada was expected to answer. The entire event was being broadcast live on BBC, with scientists, scholars, and enthusiasts worldwide tuning in. But for Ada, the most special audience members were her two grandfathers, one watching from Pune, India, and the other from London, who had eagerly gathered to celebrate their granddaughter's brilliance. Her parents, Avinash and Ila, sat right in front, their eyes filled with pride. Though Avinash was physically present at the event, his mind drifted to the extraordinary, heart-touching journey that had brought them to this moment. A story of struggles, dreams, and destiny. The story behind the dream.
Wings of Wonders.
Is a cinematic tale that brings to life the remarkable journey of a young boy from a poverty-stricken slum in Baner, Pune, to the world stage. Avinash, and often, lost both his parents at the age of 2. He was later adopted by Shri Thatte Chafekar, a kind-hearted man who gave him not just a name but also a future. The villagers, unaware of Avinash's original surname, simply embraced him as Avinash Chafekar. From an early age, Avinash displayed exceptional intelligence and a charming personality. At just 4 years old, he surprised everyone by securing a direct promotion from 1st grade to 3rd grade. By 4th grade, he had earned a scholarship, leaving everyone in awe of his brilliance. Recognizing his extraordinary potential, Chafekar grandpa arranged for Avinash to study at the prestigious New English School, Pune. However, since Avinash had previously studied in a Marathi medium school, the principal was hesitant to admit him into their English medium division. Determined, Avinash was asked to take an English proficiency test. To everyone's astonishment, he scored a perfect 100 by 100. The school not only admitted him, but also placed him in the Elite A division, reserved for highly gifted students. Under the guidance of his aunt, Pushpa, a brilliant scholar who had topped her university in statistics, and his grandfather, a physics PhD, Avinash continued to excel. By 10th grade, he was consistently ranking first in school. A young genius defies boundaries. One day, the Indian Institute of Technology, IIT, Mumbai, announced a prestigious Science Talent Scholar competition for 12th grade students. The challenge required participants to submit an essay on space travel in the year 2030. Although Avinash was only in 10th grade and technically ineligible, he boldly submitted his 20-page essay. 15 days later, he received an unexpected letter from IIT Mumbai. Dear Mr. Avinash, we have received your essay on the topic space travel in the year 2030. Though you are not eligible for this competition, as you have not yet appeared for your 12th grade exams, our experts read your essay out of curiosity. We are pleased to inform you that your essay was truly outstanding. The board has unanimously decided to accept your entry and award you the first prize. As a result, you have been granted a Science Talent Scholarship for the next 7 years, including your 11th and 12th grades. Upon completing your high school education, you will receive priority admission to IIT Mumbai. Congratulations on your splendid achievement. Director, Indian Institute of Technology, Powai, Mumbai. Avinash rushed to show the letter to his grandfather, who asked him to place it before God and offer his gratitude. Overwhelmed with emotion, Avinash bowed his head and touched his grandfather's feet in reverence. A milestone had been achieved. A dream turned reality. Shortly afterward, the 10th grade results were announced. Avinash had secured a perfect 100%, topping the entire Maharashtra State Board. His achievement made national headlines, and even the directors of IIT Mumbai sent him a special congratulatory letter. This was just the beginning of his extraordinary journey, one that would eventually lead to Ada's historic moment on the global stage. And so, the dream continued. Avinash secured admission to Ferguson College. However, he was never particularly interested in the college environment. Being an ideal student who had topped the board exams, everyone looked up to him with respect. But Avinash remained engrossed in reading, studying, and deep contemplation. Not only was Avinash academically gifted, but he also possessed a striking appearance. His tall frame, nearly 6 feet in height, was uncommon among his peers in the 11th grade. His classmates, especially the girls, considered him a close friend. The 11th grade was generally not regarded as crucial. Only the most dedicated students began preparing for their 12th grade science exams. For the rest, it was a year to enjoy life. With his grandfather's permission, Avinash set a routine of visiting select science institutes across India every 15 days. He actively sought out meetings with scientists, writers, and social experts known to his grandfather. While everyone admired his academic excellence, having topped his SSC exams, and secured a scholarship in the IIT Mumbai competition. What impressed them even more was his humble nature and insatiable curiosity to understand every subject deeply. As the 12th grade exams approached, most students became engrossed in studies. However, Avinash balanced his academics with his passion for meeting experts. Once the exams concluded, Avinash hardly gave the results a thought. Instead, he focused on preparing seriously for the IIT entrance exam. His goal was clear. He had to secure admission to IIT Mumbai at any cost. The institute had introduced an integrated B.Tech and M.Tech program, and his grandfather, Mr. Chafekar, had advised him to pursue an MBA from Harvard University afterward. Though intrigued by the idea, Avinash considered Harvard a distant dream for the time being. The results for both the 12th grade exams and the IIT entrance test were announced simultaneously. Avinash ranked among the top 5 in his board exams and secured the first rank in the IIT entrance exam. This came as a surprise to Avinash, though not to his grandfather, who had been confident of his success. In the second week of June, college was set to commence. Mr. Chafekar took Avinash to IIT Powai. There, they met Professor Arvind Sarvate, a distinguished faculty member for the past 30 years. Professor Sarvate had once been a student under Mr. Chafekar, who had mentored him, guided him through his mother's passing, and helped him through his 10th grade exams. Avinash was immediately captivated by the IIT Powai campus. He was eager to spend the next 5 years here, knowing that this was the place where he could acquire true knowledge and shape his future. Professor Arvind gave them a tour of the campus, its various laboratories, and introduced them to the institute's directors. The directors, upon learning about Avinash's academic achievements, expressed their satisfaction. You must remain studious in our institute. The reputation of IIT is built upon the brilliance of your generation. Many IIT graduates go abroad and contribute to advancements in space, healthcare, and education. However, there are now excellent business opportunities for the younger generation in India. Make the most of them in the coming years. Wishing you great success ahead, the directors advised him. Mr. Chafekar instructed Avinash to bow and take their blessings. When Avinash respectfully bent down to touch their feet, the directors were pleasantly surprised. It had been years since a student had shown such reverence, as they were accustomed to students who often challenged authority rather than honored it. That night, Professor Arvind insisted that Avinash and his grandfather stay at his home. The next morning, he arranged for a senior student to help Avinash settle into his hostel. Later, over lunch, Mr. Chafekar and Professor Arvind engaged in deep discussions about various subjects. Afterward, Mr. Chafekar bid farewell, expressing gratitude for the warmth and respect shown to him. Avinash thrived at IIT. Each year, he achieved new milestones. He was not only popular among his peers, but also highly respected by professors for his academic prowess. He frequently participated in competitions, often securing the first or second rank. He also attended science competitions in various IITs across the country. While he faced failures along the way, he formed valuable friendships with students from different institutes and engaged in intellectual discussions with professors and principals. Taking the initiative, Avinash created a WhatsApp group called www.dreamsforever.com. The group rapidly gained traction, attracting around 250 students and professors. It became a hub for discussions on scientific topics, debates, and even the sharing of science fiction content via YouTube. In a short span, the group became so popular that Avinash, with the help of his IIT friends and professors, launched an educational website under the same name. Within a year, the platform amassed over 100,000 members, including scientists, management experts, and social activists from around the world. It also became a repository for research articles, theses, and short essays. By his third year, Avinash had developed an interest in management studies. Harvard Business School had announced an international essay competition on new management techniques for the year 2030. Despite not being a management student, Avinash submitted an essay on behalf of IIT Mumbai. He had no expectations of winning, as the competition was meant for management students. A month passed, and Avinash remained occupied with his studies and website. One day, the IIT director summoned him to his office. "Congratulations! You have won the first prize in the Harvard Business School essay competition. You have been invited to present your paper at the World Conference in Boston next month," the director announced. "Thank you very much, sir. This achievement is due to the guidance of all my professors who helped me prepare for the essay," Avinash humbly responded. The director was deeply impressed. "You are the brightest yet most humble student I have encountered in my entire career as an IIT Mumbai director," he said. The news spread across the IIT Powai campus like wildfire. It was unprecedented for a non-management student to be invited to Harvard to present a paper. Avinash saw this not just as his own achievement, but as a proud moment for the entire IIT Mumbai community. As the day of his departure approached, the institute organized a farewell event. Students and faculty gathered to wish him well. After receiving words of encouragement from the director and his department head, Avinash addressed the audience. "Going to Harvard Business School for a lecture is an honor for all IITians across India. I will do my best to represent our institution and our country with excellence. My success is a result of the support from my friends, colleagues, professors, and mentors. Thank you all," he concluded. A thunderous applause filled the hall. Students and faculty stood up in admiration, cheering him on. The next night, Avinash boarded his flight to Boston. After a 20-hour journey, Avinash landed at the airport, where two Harvard Business School students received him. He was accommodated at the hostel designated for guest lecturers. The following day was a rest day. Avinash decided to explore the Harvard Business School campus and meet some esteemed members of www.dreamsforever.com to discuss ongoing research at Harvard. The symposium, titled New Management Techniques for the Year 2030, commenced on the third day. The event featured 20 global delegates with a live telecast reaching audiences worldwide, including IIT Mumbai. When it was Avinash's turn to speak, he was slightly nervous but quickly regained his composure. In the next 20 minutes, he presented his ideas eloquently. The audience responded with a standing ovation, acknowledging his exceptional presentation. Avinash had not only made his institution proud, but had also taken a significant step toward shaping the future of management science on a global stage. A short while later, the judges arrived on stage and announced the final results. The outcome of the competition organized by Harvard Business School was unexpected. Avinash, who came from a non-management institute, had won the first prize. A wave of applause swept through the auditorium. At IIT Bombay, where the online program was being conducted, a surge of excitement filled the campus upon hearing the news of Avinash's victory. The entire institute resonated with chants of Hip Hip Hooray for IIT Bombay. Hip Hip Hooray for Avinash Chafekar. The director sent a message to Avinash's mobile phone. Dear Mr. Avinash, for the first time, an IIT student has won first prize in a global competition at Harvard Business School. Congratulations on your remarkable achievement. We are proud of you. Regards. Avinash's speech was published on www.dreamsforever.com. Within hours, it had been liked by nearly 10,000 people worldwide, and over 500 individuals had either shared their feedback or forwarded the speech to their Facebook groups. The following day, a select group of 50 professors held a meeting with Harvard Business School directors at Thatte Hall. During the discussion, a decision was made to establish a branch of Harvard Business School in India. Initially, they planned to launch online courses, followed by a full-time MBA program in Mumbai a year later, with the support of IIT Powai. Of course, obtaining approval from the Indian government was essential for this initiative. Avinash assured the directors that he would assist in securing government approval with the help of the IIT director. Subsequently, he facilitated a phone conversation between the Harvard Business School directors and the IIT Powai director. The IIT director promised to engage in discussions with the Indian government regarding the proposal. However, he privately harbored doubts about the government's decision-making process, as he believed that such approvals often ended up favoring institutions controlled by corporate giants like Adani or Ambani. This led him to consider an alternative, retiring from IIT and establishing an institution in collaboration with Harvard Business School. He decided to discuss this idea with trusted colleagues, including Avinash, before making a final decision. 4 days later, after a 24-hour journey, Avinash returned to Mumbai. His B.Tech exams were approaching, and everyone was immersed in their studies. Avinash had planned to complete his B.Tech in electronics, followed by an M.Tech in just 1 year. If he secured a good job, he intended to move abroad. The B.Tech results were declared, and soon after, Avinash began his M.Tech coursework, which was a 1-year program. After 6 months, the placement season commenced. Avinash received job offers from 3 companies: Reliance Jio, Mahindra Tractors, and Microsoft. Microsoft extended an offer with an initial package of $200,000 per year. 6 months later, Avinash joined Microsoft. He was posted at the Paddington Street office in London. His first 3 months were dedicated to training across various departments, where he formed friendships with many colleagues. Outside work, he often met new acquaintances in the canteen, including to individuals Smith and Ada, who were graduates of the London School of Economics. Avinash found a strong intellectual connection with them and shared his website, www.dreamsforever.com. Both Smith and Ada were instantly drawn to the website. Shall we introduce our friends to this website? We believe they will appreciate its content. And some may even contribute articles, Smith suggested. By all means, we encourage more young contributors. We can also obtain permission from original authors to feature scientific and management-related articles on the website Avinash proposed. That's a brilliant idea. I'd love to contribute as well by writing a weekly article using my management knowledge from LSE, Ada added enthusiastically. Oh yes, that would be a valuable addition to our website, Avinash responded, pleased with her suggestion. But for the first few weeks, I'd appreciate your guidance. You can suggest topics and help me refine my writing, Ada requested. Avinash readily agreed. In the very first week, Ada submitted an article on a scientific topic. Avinash made significant edits and enhancements before publishing it on the website. Experts from the website's community took notice of the article. Some highlighted key points, while others criticized certain theories. Ada was thrilled by the attention her article received. She realized that Avinash's support had played a crucial role in making it impactful. From then on, she resolved to show him every article before publishing. What should I write about next week? She asked Avinash during office hours. I'm busy with office work. www.dreamsforever.com is something we do in our spare time. Maybe we can discuss your next article on Friday evening. Is that all right? Avinash replied. Ada agreed. For the next 4 weeks, her articles on diverse topics were published on the website. However, every article went through Avinash's careful revisions before being posted, along with a photograph and email address. As her articles gained traction, Ada began receiving numerous emails. Some readers even invited her for discussions over dinner. Some of our website readers have reached out to me. Would you mind joining me for a discussion with them? Ada asked Avinash. This Friday, I have a marathon discussion with my department head about some newly developed issues. I won't be able to join, but if you've committed, go ahead Avinash replied. That evening, Ada left directly from the office for the meeting. She wore an elegant outfit that complemented her charming personality. Before leaving, she peeked into the conference room where Avinash was delivering a lecture. She smiled and walked toward her car. Upon arriving at the posh restaurant, she approached the staff and inquired about the reserved table. They've booked a room on the 16th floor and mentioned that you may be invited inside for discussions, the staff informed her politely. Ada took the elevator to the 16th floor and knocked gently on the door. A man opened it. Are you Ada? Welcome. I'm Robert. My colleagues are inside. Did you have any trouble finding the hotel? He asked. Not at all. I've been here before, Ada responded. Inside, 4 individuals were seated, sipping drinks. Would you like something to drink? Robert offered. Oh no, thank you. It's quite cold outside, Ada replied. One of the men initiated a discussion about her articles, praising her for the outstanding content and thought-provoking insights. However, when they asked certain questions, Ada realized she didn't have all the answers. Why don't you meet my friend, the editor of www.dreamsforever.com? He's the best person to address your queries, she suggested. We'd love to. He's one of the most successful and versatile professionals in the IT industry today. Please arrange a meeting at the earliest, Robert requested. After finishing her coffee, Ada bid them farewell. As she walked out, she reflected on the evening. It was the first time someone had not only appreciated her intelligence but also complimented her beauty. That night, she called Avinash, but he didn't answer. She assumed he was still in his meeting. The next morning, when they met at the office, Ada expected him to ask about the meeting. However, Avinash was deeply engrossed in his work and started talking about his own tasks instead. Ada was disappointed that he didn't show any interest, so she let the matter drop. Later that night, at 10 p.m., Avinash suddenly remembered her meeting and called her. I forgot to ask about your meeting. How is it? He inquired. You should have asked me in the morning. Now I'm busy. If you remember tomorrow, I'll tell you, she said curtly. Realizing she was upset, Avinash decided to make amends. He walked to her house, rang the doorbell, and waited. Ada opened the door, surprised to see him so late. Her anger melted away in an instant. Why did you come at this hour? She asked. I should have asked earlier. I'm sorry, he admitted. Ada smiled and welcomed him inside. It is good that, at least for the sake of asking me about yesterday's meeting, you have come to my home. Ada made a wonderful coffee, and the two of them sat on the sofa. Are you staying alone in this beautiful bungalow? Avinash asked Ada. No, my dad is here with me. He's sleeping upstairs right now. He's over 70 and usually goes to bed by 9, Ada clarified. For the next 15 minutes, she briefed Avinash about the meeting that had taken place the previous day. They appreciated my articles. They also complimented me, calling me a dynamic, charming, and beautiful young lady writer. Ada shared what they had said about her. You are young, dynamic, charming, and beautiful. Does anyone else really need to say that? Avinash remarked, looking at her. We have met several times, yet you never told me this before. Ada responded with a smile. I have always admired your intelligence, your excellent education, and your wisdom in handling life's daily challenges. Beauty and charm without intelligence and wisdom do not mean much to me. Am I right? Avinash moved closer to her as he spoke. That is exactly what I like about you. I have loved you since the very first day we met, Ada confessed, gazing into his eyes. I realized your love and affection for me during our second meeting. I like you very much. But I do not know if I love you, Avinash replied. I truly love you. I admire your caring nature and the way you think deeply about the world's problems and their solutions, Ada said. She leaned forward and placed a gentle kiss on Avinash's cheek. Avinash held her close in his arms. They had now become each other's special friends. The people I met at the hotel are eager to meet you someday. They hold great respect for you, Ada informed him. For the next 2-3 hours, they engaged in lively conversations on various topics. Ada made it clear to Avinash that, beyond work, they should spend at least half an hour each day talking and discussing different subjects. Avinash agreed. Having discussions with Avinash on various topics was a challenge, not only to Ada's sharp intellect, but also to her stunning charm. Now, the moon was setting. Good night. Sweet dreams, Ada whispered to Avinash. Avinash left for home, feeling content. The entire next week was consumed by work. Avinash was entrusted with greater responsibilities, which he handled with exceptional skill. On Saturdays, he had to visit the London School of Economics as a visiting faculty. Preparing for his lectures took up to 2-3 hours of his Thursday nights, and Ada often helped him with it. Ada accompanied him to the London School of Economics to assist him. She had completed her postgraduate studies there, and many professors were well acquainted with her. She was known as a brilliant student, and her beauty and charm were admired by her entire batch. In fact, the whole batch was famously referred to as Ada's batch. Avinash soon gained recognition as a visiting professor at the London School of Economics. Even students from other courses eagerly attended his lectures. Now, Avinash was deeply immersed into roles, working on a Microsoft project and teaching at the London School of Economics, both of which were equally dear to him. Winter was approaching. Can we go on a 2-day vacation in London? This is the best season of the year. Ada asked Avinash. Avinash had never thought about taking such a break. Find a hotel, and I will book it for the two of us, he replied. Let's go to the Blakemore Hyde Park Hotel. It is very close to Hyde Park. Can I book it? Ada inquired. I do not know any hotels in London. Choose whichever suits you, Avinash said. Ada booked a room and paid the advance with her credit card. On Saturday morning at 10 a.m., they packed their bags with minimal clothing and set off. Soon, they reached Hyde Park. And within minutes, their car stopped in front of Blakemore Hyde Park Hotel. They were given a room on the top floor, offering a breathtaking view of Hyde Park. How is the room? I booked it especially for us. Ada whispered in Avinash's ear. I never imagined that I would one day stay in this hotel. No doubt, it's marvelous, Avinash said, admiring the beautiful scenery and lush greenery of Hyde Park. Let's have breakfast and then go to the park, Ada suggested, and Avinash agreed. Avinash had never dreamed of staying in such a hotel for 2 days. Today is your birthday. Many happy returns of the day, Ada said cheerfully. She had chosen Blakemore Hyde Park Hotel to celebrate Avinash's birthday. Oh, I had forgotten that today is my birthday. Thank you for remembering it, Avinash exclaimed. Ada stepped forward, wished him, and planted a sweet kiss on his lips. For the first time in my life, someone has remembered my birthday, Avinash said, touched. What will you give me for remembering your birthday? Ada asked playfully. Anything you wish, darling, Avinash replied. Tonight, whatever I ask, you must give me. Promise? Ada asked. I promise you, Avinash assured her. Ada changed into a bolder and more elegant dress. Let's go for breakfast, Ada said. Avinash could not take his eyes off her. Am I dreaming? You look so gorgeous. Not kissing you would be an injustice, Avinash declared. Ada closed her eyes. Avinash kissed her passionately. For the first time in my life, I am kissing a beautiful young girl. I will never forget this moment, Avinash whispered, gazing into her eyes. Shall we go? Ada asked. Avinash looked at her with misty eyes and said, Yes, darling. The entire day, Avinash and Ada wandered freely through Hyde Park. Ada, lost in her own world, kept chatting with Avinash. Today, Ada appeared in a different light, catching Avinash's attention in a new way. Not a single man in Hyde Park could walk past her without turning around to look at her again. Some even stumbled, mesmerized by her beauty. In the Hyde Park lake, a pair of swans glided gracefully, followed closely by their little cygnet. A poem from his childhood suddenly came to Avinash's mind. In a pond lived some beautiful ducklings, but among them was one ugly and odd little thing. The last line, he then realized that he was a swan, unique and magnificent, had always given him confidence and inspiration in life. He smiled to himself. Why are you smiling? Ada asked. Avinash recited the entire poem to her in Marathi and then translated it into English. I know. You are my swan, the only person who has unknowingly admired and loved himself, Ada whispered, gripping his hand firmly. In her touch, Avinash felt the strength of 100 hands supporting him. He squeezed her hand gently and kissed it. Ada shivered in delight at his touch. That night, Ada insisted they dance on the dance floor. For Avinash, this was an entirely new experience. A month had passed. The doctor confirmed that Ada was pregnant. Ada sent a WhatsApp message to Avinash. Great news for us. We are going to have a baby. Congratulations to you for soon becoming a dad. Avinash replied, Congratulations to you. You have given me my most wonderful birthday gift. Let's celebrate it when I come to London. Truly yours, Avi. Avinash sent Ada a delicate image of a baby dressed as a scientist. 2 days later, Avinash returned to London. They spent that night once again at the Blackmore Hyde Park Hotel. I will always have you with me as our brilliant, tall, and handsome son. I kept dreaming of this for a long time. At last, my dream has come true. Ada shared her feelings with Avinash. I am trying for admission to Harvard Business School, Boston, Massachusetts, United States. Even if I pursue my MBA, I will find work somewhere and take care of our baby, Avinash assured Ada. Do not worry about that. I can take care of our baby with my earnings, Ada reassured him. Wrapped in each other's arms, they lost track of time that night. Only the moon, peeking through the clouds, witnessed their joy and dreams. Avinash Chafekar's name appeared on the merit list of Harvard Business School. His tuition and other expenses would amount to nearly 2 crore rupees. Considering his previous qualifications, financial situation, and the lecture he had delivered at Harvard New Management Techniques for the year 2030, the Harvard Business School management assured him they would cover all his educational expenses. Only after receiving this assurance did Avinash decide to pursue his MBA at Harvard. Of course, Ada fully supported his decision. She understood that getting into Harvard was a cherished dream for many. As the term start date approached, Avinash prepared to leave London for Boston to fulfill his dream. Tears welled up in his eyes. I may not be here when you deliver our baby, he said to Ada. Ada's eyes filled with tears as well. She gazed at him, her eyes brimming with emotions. And without saying a word, she gave him a deep, lingering kiss. I will miss you a lot. Come back home to London whenever you can, she said. I will be in Boston, but my heart will always be with you. Are you sure about this? Avinash gently cupped her chin and asked. We will talk every morning and night. Is that possible for you, dear? Ada asked. Yes, darling, Avinash whispered. Her lover, the father of her unborn child, her soulmate, was leaving, perhaps never to return. Only tears streamed down her cheeks now. The next morning, Avinash took a flight to Boston. After a 5 to 6 hour journey, he arrived at Boston Airport. 3 friends he had met 2 years ago had come to receive him. They were now professors at different colleges in Boston. Welcome to Boston once again. They greeted him warmly. Avinash shook hands with them in appreciation. We will spend our time more fruitfully with you now, one of them said. Avinash patted his shoulder and replied, I am sure about that. His friends placed his 2 bags in the car's trunk and they headed toward Harvard's hostel. Upon reaching the hostel, they assured him they would meet again in the evening before leaving. Good afternoon, Ada. Avinash called her. Good morning. How was your journey to Boston? Did you enjoy it? Ada asked. Where are you? You must have reached the office by now. Avi inquired. Yes, the day has started as usual. Only I am missing you. Everything else is the same as always. Ada sighed. I have traveled thousands of kilometers away from you. Yet I still feel you are with me. Avi confessed. That's how you see life. You're always positive. Ada laughed. She was absolutely right. Even thousands of kilometers apart, he still said, I feel you are with me. This positive outlook of his always touched her heart. Take some rest, then meet the professors who have been in touch with you for the past 4 years. Bye. Ada ended the call. Avinash felt as if Ada had something more to say, but she had held back. After resting for a while, he left for Harvard Business School. He met with the director of Harvard Business School. May I come in, sir? Avinash knocked on the door. Come in, please. The director welcomed him warmly. Avinash entered. What a great surprise. You are back at Harvard Business School. Welcome to you. We will be talking to our web friend daily. The director greeted him. After completing my M.Tech from IIT Powai, Mumbai, I am once again joining a school. Avinash chuckled. We know very well that along with pursuing your MBA, you can also teach in other classes, including your own batch. The director laughed. He was sure that these 2 years at Harvard Business School would be special with Avinash around. On the third day, the MBA course began with a welcome lecture by the director. Following this, Avinash was invited to deliver his lecture on new management techniques for the year 2030. Now, we will have an enlightening talk on new management techniques for 2030 by Mr. Avinash Chafekar. Please give him a big round of applause. The director announced. Avinash stepped forward and addressed the new students. My dear friends, I am Avinash Chafekar. I was a student at IIT Powai, Mumbai, and completed my master's degree M.Tech in electronics. 4 years ago, I delivered a lecture on new management techniques for the year 2030, which won first prize in a competition held by Harvard Business School. I worked at Microsoft for the past 2 years, an amazing experience for me. Now, I am here to deliver a revised lecture on the same topic. I hope you all enjoy it. For the next 30 minutes, Avinash delivered a remarkable lecture to the students of Harvard Business School. As soon as he finished, the students rose to their feet, applauding thunderously, saluting him as if honoring a military colonel for his extraordinary achievement. Avinash humbly acknowledged their appreciation with a slight bow. Later, he emailed the entire lecture and the students' overwhelming response to Ada. An hour later, Ada sent him a WhatsApp message. I listened to your lecture. I am so proud of you. Avinash felt deeply gratified by her words. This was the beginning of a truly promising career at Harvard Business School. Avinash became more active at Harvard. Alongside attending his MBA lectures, he also taught classes for other courses, guided students in their careers, enhanced the dreamsforever.com website, and made sure to talk to Ada twice daily, morning and night. Meanwhile, Ada's pregnancy progressed. At times, she felt moody and emotional. Sometimes, she felt exhausted and didn't want to go to work. Other times, she was full of energy. The first 3 months had been particularly challenging for her. Can you list all your pregnancy symptoms for me? I wish I could bear them for you, darling, Avinash often told Ada. But both of them knew this journey was hers alone to endure. One day, Ada called at him at 2 a.m. Our baby and I want you here, just now. Will you take the morning flight to London? Avinash didn't know how to respond. When Harvard Business School granted a 10-day break, Avinash decided to surprise Ada. Standing outside her house, he called her. Hi Ada, how are you? Ada, startled, exclaimed, I was just thinking about you. Our baby was asking, when will we meet Dad? Tell the baby, whenever he wants, Dad will come to meet him. He wants to meet you right now. Can you make that possible? Just open your door, and his dad will be there. Neither of them realized how the 2 days had passed. On the third day, Avinash was speaking with Ada's father. I want to get married to Ada before going to Boston. Will you kindly allow us to have a court marriage next week? Avinash sought his permission. Let Ada decide for herself. I will gladly welcome this moment from your side. Ada's father responded. I have already spoken to Ada. She has given her consent to my proposal. Avinash informed him. Ada's father then asked her about it, and she confirmed her approval. You should also involve your parents. Their permission is essential for this decision. Ada's father advised. Leave that to me. My grandfather, Ajoba, and aunt Atya have such kind hearts that they will accept it, even if I don't inform them in advance. Avinash assured him. Taking the initiative, Ada's father arranged their wedding at a church. Ada and Avinash were married in the church. The next day, they registered their marriage under the Special Marriage Act at the registrar's office. Ada remained a Christian, and Avinash continued to follow Hinduism. Ada hosted a wedding celebration for her colleagues at Microsoft. During the party, her boss announced that she had been transferred to Microsoft's Boston office in the US. Microsoft didn't want to lose an exceptional employee, and Ada didn't want to leave her job either. Both had received their desired choice. The following week, Avinash and Ada set off for Boston. Ada was a bit nervous about her father's health. Dad, if anything goes wrong with your health, please inform me. I will rush to London immediately, Ada told him. He patted her shoulder affectionately and reassured her, don't worry about my health. Instead, take care of both yourself and your lovely baby. Rest assured, I will take care of them both, Ada and our baby. Avinash promised sincerely. Her father bid them farewell, waving his hand long after the car had left, as if Ada was still watching him. After an 8-hour journey, they arrived home. Avinash stayed at a men's hostel, while he had arranged for Ada to stay at a friend's place. You both can stay in our bedroom. We'll sleep in the spacious hall, Avinash's friend offered. The three of them chatted for a long time. During the conversation, the friend learned that Avinash and Ada had married just a week ago. She was also surprised to learn that Ada was already 2 months pregnant. You made the right decision at the right time. Now both mom and dad can take care of the baby nicely. She welcomed their bold decision. You have to take utmost care of Ada, especially in the first 3 months. That's why I brought her to Boston. She has also transferred her job to Microsoft Boston, Avinash explained. Soon after, the friend bid them good night. Ada, exhausted from the long day, fell asleep in Avinash's arms within a minute. Avinash looked at her with great affection. Seeing the glow on her face, he felt immense happiness. It was the unique radiance of the life growing inside her. He kissed her forehead, turned off the light, and fell asleep content. The next morning, Avinash woke up at 4 a.m. to prepare for his lectures at Harvard Business School. At 6 a.m., Ada woke up. "Good morning, dear," she wished Avinash. "Good morning. You had a nice sleep last night. You were so tired after all the traveling." Avinash pulled her close. "Your baby follows early to bed, early to rise. That's why the baby wakes up early," Ada teased. Avinash kissed her and went to the kitchen to make tea. A little while later, the other couple woke up and they all started chatting. Around 2 p.m., Avinash and Ada were discussing their future. "You haven't told your grandfather, Ajoba, and Aunt Atya about our marriage. Why don't you inform them? They will be happy," Ada suggested. "I already told them that they will soon hear good news from me." My grandfather cheerfully asked, "Have you found a young, beautiful girl in London? Tell us frankly. We would love to see her and approve her as a bride." So, I sent them your photos on WhatsApp with your name as Ada. They replied, "Young, dynamic, and beautiful girl. All the best. Let us know the progress. But I haven't told them that we are already married and that you are expecting my baby," Avinash admitted. "Can they come to Boston? It would be lovely to have Grandpa and his sister with us," Ada suggested. Both have 10-year US visas and have visited several times to meet their friends and former students settled in the US. Avinash explained, "Then let's invite them to Boston to stay with us," Ada proposed. "Namaste, Ajoba. It's Avinash. How are you both?" Avinash called his grandfather via WhatsApp. "We are doing well. How is Harvard Business School treating you? Learning something new?" his grandfather asked. "At Harvard, I'm both a student and a faculty member. Everything is going great. My friend Ada has now transferred to Boston," Avinash shared. "Ada looks very beautiful in the pictures you sent. Are you planning to marry her, or has the wedding already happened?" his grandfather teased. "What do you think?" Avinash smiled. "We never know with your generation. Nowadays, people get married quickly in a church. I hope you haven't done that," his grandfather said playfully. "Ajoba, you both must come to Boston in 15 to 20 days. I will arrange a flat here where we all can stay, me, you, Atya, and your daughter-in-law Ada. You must be tired of staying in India for so long. It's time to come straight to Boston. I'll book your flight tickets." Avinash cleverly avoided answering the wedding question. "Is Ada with you right now? If so, turn on the video call," his grandfather insisted. On the video call, Ada greeted them with a bright smile. "I have heard so much about you and Atya from Avinash. You both supported him in his excellent education, including IIT Bombay. You raised him so well that people admire and respect him. His admission to Harvard proves how strong he is," Ada said warmly. "From what you say, he has already impressed you. You seem like a smart and beautiful girl. Let me ask you directly. Do you love Avinash? Do you want to marry him?" his grandfather asked. "Yes, I love him dearly," He is kind, noble, and brilliant. I always dreamed of a husband like him. I believe God made him for me. Ada expressed her feelings openly. His grandfather smiled. You are young, beautiful, and dynamic. Yet you want to be our daughter-in-law? If Avinash has chosen you, we fully support his decision. Then, with a knowing tone, he added, I sense you might want a baby like Avinash without marrying him. Don't make that mistake. You'll regret it for a lifetime. Marry immediately and give the baby both parents. Overwhelmed, Avinash confessed, Ajoba, we already got married in a church. I'm sorry for not telling you earlier. I feel guilty. His grandfather chuckled. We prayed to God to give you the wisdom to marry Ada. He listened. Finally, he blessed them both. Take care of my daughter-in-law Ada and your little one. We will see you in Boston soon. With that, the call ended, leaving Avinash feeling relieved and happy. Adal felt happy that evening. It was just a matter of a few days now. She was finally going to have her own place, even if it was a rented one. Soon, both grandfathers and one grandmother would be moving in. Avinash had spoken with his grandfather and aunt earlier that day, and they had agreed to come. She was confident that her father wouldn't refuse either. Her company had approved an 8-day leave for her. If they could find an old bungalow slightly away from the city with 3 bedrooms, a hall, and a kitchen, it would be perfect for everyone. She had searched the web for real estate agents' contact details and emailed them all. That night, their friends gathered for drinks. Avinash refused to have hard drinks, and Adal, being pregnant, had already been advised by him not to drink. The friends switched to wine, while Adal and Avinash opted for soft drinks. At some point during their conversation, Adal lay down with her head on Avinash's lap and dozed off without anyone realizing it. As their friends got up from the bed, they bid Avinash good night. We are going to our native place for 8 to 10 days starting tomorrow. You can use our home comfortably. By the time we return, you will surely find your dream home. All the best in finding your new beautiful house, one of their friends told Avinash. Avinash hugged his friend. Thank you very much for your kind support and help, he said with gratitude. If you were in our place, you would have done the same, wouldn't you? Their friend smiled and replied. Good night. They wished each other before parting ways. That night, Avinash felt a sense of relief. Most of his concerns had been resolved. It was as if his grandfathers had sensed the love between him and Adal. That's why they had encouraged her to open up, wanting to hear about her feelings for Avinash directly from her. That night, his grandfather sent him an email. It contained a recitation of Maharudra along with an introductory text. Shri Rudram is an ancient Vedic text and part of the Krishna Yajurveda. It is a powerful hymn in praise of Rudra or Shiva. In the mystical tradition, Shiva represents the consciousness within everything, the pure essence within all, referred to in the Hindu scriptures as Sat, Chit, Ananda, truth, consciousness, and bliss. It is in Shri Rudram that the great 5-syllable mantra Om Namah Shivaya is first mentioned. You might simply listen to the chant during meditation, or you could chant along. The vibrations of the chant purify the atmosphere and mind, fill your being with peace and vigor, bestow protection, and, coupled with a pure intention, have the power to grant your wishes, including liberation. May the practice of chanting Shri Rudram bring you countless blessings. Along with the email was a letter. Dear Avinash, from tomorrow morning, make sure Adal listens to the Rudra Sukta without fail. Then, explain to her our sentiments about this sacred hymn. By the time we arrive, I am confident she will have memorized it. Blessings to you both. Yours, grandfather. That night, Avinash listened to the Rudra Sukta himself. As a child, he used to hear it from his grandfather every morning at dawn. This gift from his grandfather felt special to him. While listening, he gently placed his hand on Adala's forehead. As the chanting ended, he softly kissed her forehead. He truly believed that Lord Shiva had bestowed his divine blessings upon her from heaven. Finding their home in Boston, Avinash and Adal started searching for a house in Boston. Soon, they found a bungalow that matched their needs, a 3-bedroom hall kitchen house. It was slightly outside the city, but well connected by the metro line. Being outside the city, the rent was significantly lower. The house was spacious, with a large front and backyard, big trees, and a beautiful garden. Both of them loved the house. The bungalow was vacant, so the owner agreed to give possession within 4 days. He also promised to repaint the house inside and out. Avinash sent a video of the house to his grandfather. Within 2 days, his grandfather responded with approval and informed him that he and his aunt were preparing to travel to Boston. I will book your flight tickets, Avinash told his grandfather. Oh no, we can use our lifelong savings for this trip. You may be wealthy, studying at Harvard for an MBA, but we do have our own financial means. We've saved something throughout our lives, haven't we? His grandfather replied with a laugh. All right then, once you arrive in Boston, I'll give you money in dollars. You can spend as you like, Avinash chuckled. Avinash, are you making sure Adal listens to the Shri Rudram daily? Or have you forgotten already? His grandfather asked. She listens to it every day. Not only that, but she has also started understanding its meaning. She even meditates for half an hour daily. You should be happy that you're getting such a wonderful daughter-in-law, Avinash assured him. Welcoming grandfather and aunt to Boston within a month, Avinash's grandfather and aunt arrived in Boston. They had a layover in London before catching their final flight. Avinash reached the airport at 9 a.m. It took them some time to get their luggage. However, since they were senior citizens, immigration was a breeze. You both are Indians, but your fair skin, good height, and fresh looks make you seem European, the immigration officer joked. Thank you for the compliment. His grandfather laughed. Outside, Avinash eagerly waited. After 2.5 years, he was finally meeting his grandfather and aunt again. As soon as he saw them, he bowed in respect. Welcome to America, he exclaimed excitedly. Oh dear, you're bowing to us here in Boston? The Americans will laugh at you, his grandfather teased. Avinash took charge of their luggage and led them to his car. He had bought a Mercedes-Benz, though it was second-hand. Wow, you got yourself a nice car, his grandfather praised. It's a used car, Avinash clarified. Son, we could never afford our own car in our lifetime. And here you are, driving a Mercedes-Benz. That's something to be proud of, his grandfather remarked warmly. After loading their bags, Avinash turned to his grandfather. Why don't you sit in the front? I'll show you important landmarks in Boston along the way. Let your aunt sit in the front. She can chat with you and enjoy the sights, his grandfather insisted. So, his aunt sat beside him while his grandfather sat in the back. During the drive, his aunt admired Avinash's transformation. He looked more confident, mature, and handsome. Adal didn't come to pick us up? His grandfather asked. She stayed back to prepare the house for your arrival. Shouldn't she welcome her in-laws properly? Avinash chuckled. We've only seen her on video calls. Now, we're eager to meet our daughter-in-law in person, his aunt smiled. Just an hour and a half more, and you'll finally meet her, Avinash reassured them. A warm welcome home when the car stopped outside their home, Adal stepped out. She was radiant and beautiful. Welcome to Boston and your home, she greeted them warmly. As soon as they stepped inside, she bowed and touched their feet. May you always be blessed with happiness and prosperity, his grandfather said, closing his eyes in gratitude. His aunt looked at Adal and said with admiration, Avinash has chosen a beautiful, cheerful wife. Adal blushed. Their new life together had truly begun. Ada's journey, a miracle in the making, balancing her work at Microsoft with her household responsibilities, Ada was managing everything efficiently. She was working remotely from home, and her colleagues at Microsoft were well aware of the challenges she faced in taking care of her family while handling work. Out of goodwill, her team and her boss ensured that she had a lighter workload. After the baby's delivery, Ada had been on 6 months of paid leave. Now, 9 months had passed, and she was due to resume work. However, the timing and circumstances of her return were uncertain, something only the future could determine. Even her colleagues at Microsoft, Avinash, both grandfathers, her aunt, and Ada herself had no idea what lay ahead. A new arrival in the family during dinner one night, Ada's grandfather brought up the topic of her father visiting Boston. Since their house was spacious, his presence wouldn't cause any inconvenience. In fact, his arrival would bring great company for both the grandfather and the aunt. Encouraged by her grandfather, Ada invited her father to stay with them, and both she and Avinash spoke to him over the phone the next day. He gladly accepted the invitation, and Ada promptly booked and emailed his flight ticket. With his arrival in Boston, the household gained another senior member, bringing joy to both the grandfather and the aunt. A separate bedroom had already been prepared for him, and he settled in comfortably. Interestingly, both Ada's father and Avinash's grandfather were already skilled in cooking, which gave Ada and Avinash a much-needed break from kitchen duties. The grandfather and aunt would sometimes prepare traditional Indian meals, while Ada's father delighted them with British-style chicken or fish dishes. Surprisingly, the grandfather and aunt, who had never eaten chicken or fish in India, not only tasted it, but also developed a liking for it. An extraordinary pregnancy, Ada was now 4 months pregnant, and it was time for her next checkup at the hospital. She and Avinash visited the gynecologist, who conducted various tests and a sonography. The baby's growth is progressing well. In fact, as I mentioned last time, the development is beyond the usual rate for a 4-month-old fetus. Your baby is incredibly healthy, and her growth is astonishingly advanced. Her brain has developed to the level of a 6-month-old fetus, and her organs are forming at an accelerated pace. This is truly a miracle, the doctor remarked thoughtfully. Avinash, concerned, asked, "Is this abnormal?" "No, it's a miracle. Something like this might be happening after thousands of years. I believe your baby could bring a new revolution to humankind," the doctor said, looking at the sonography screen in awe. "What exactly do you mean?" Ada inquired. "Your baby is developing so rapidly that she might reach full human maturity within 7 to 8 months instead of the usual 9. I feel this case should be documented in global scientific journals," the doctor suggested enthusiastically. After discussing with both grandfathers and the aunt, Ada and Avinash gave their consent to publish the case in an international medical journal. Soon, an article titled "Future Baby" was published in a renowned science magazine. Scientists across America took a special interest in this extraordinary case and sought permission from Ada and Avinash to include their baby in ongoing research. After much deliberation, they finally agreed. The grandfathers weren't entirely surprised. After all, Avinash himself had an unusual birth and an extraordinary career trajectory. They firmly believed that Ada and Avinash's child, whether a boy or a girl, would surpass even their father's achievements. A special revelation while Ada and Avinash were overjoyed about their growing baby, they also felt a deep sense of responsibility. "Our baby will be normal. We have nothing to worry about," Avinash reassured Ada as he held her close. "We haven't even asked the doctor if it's a boy or a girl," Ada mused. "Oh, you're right. Should we ask on our next visit, or should I call the doctor right now?" Avinash asked playfully. Without waiting, Avinash dialed the gynecologist. The doctor confirmed that they were expecting a baby girl and that the report was already in their file. "I'm sorry, I hadn't checked the entire file yet. We'll go through all the papers," Avinash responded before ending the call. "You're going to have a baby girl. Congratulations. She's going to be as beautiful as her mother," Avinash said warmly. "She's going to be just like you, handsome, tall, and intelligent. I want our baby to be like you," Ada replied with a smile. Avinash simply looked at her and said, "As you wish." A love story at 70. Meanwhile, the two grandfathers and Adas aunt were thoroughly enjoying their time together. Unexpectedly, Ada's grandfather and Avinash's aunt, Pushpa, had become very close friends, a relationship quite unusual for their age, at least by Indian standards. Avinash's grandfather had also found a circle of friends in Boston and even created a WhatsApp group with 20 members who met every evening in the park to share stories of their joys and sorrows. One evening, during dinner, Ada's grandfather stunned everyone with an unexpected declaration. "I want to share a secret with all of you. I am proposing to Miss Pushpa because I love and admire her. If no one, especially Mr. Vaman, has any objection," he said, looking around the table. Pushpa was taken aback. At her age, she had never imagined receiving a marriage proposal. After a brief silence, Ada's grandfather took out a rose from his pocket, got down on both knees, and asked, Will you marry me, young and beautiful lady? This old man's heart will always remain young. Pushpa glanced at her brother, Vaman, who seemed pleased rather than surprised. If Ada and Avinash have no objection, I will be happy to marry you. Do any of you object? Pushpa asked. Ada cheered. Dad, go ahead. You're making the smartest decision of your life. I'm thrilled that after 20 years, you found someone to love besides me. Vaman, visibly emotional, said, I never imagined this moment, but I am happy for my sister. She finally has someone to care for her in my absence. Within a week, they arranged a small wedding at home, following Hindu rituals. Ada's father insisted on keeping it traditional. Avinash booked a honeymoon for them at a hill station, and the newlyweds left the next day. Do you regret my marriage? Pushpa asked her brother before leaving. Not at all. You found a wonderful foreigner as your partner for old age, just like Ada found Avinash. All the best for your future, Vaman replied warmly. With a smile, Pushpa and her husband left to begin their new journey. A baby like no other. A month later, Ada, now 5 months pregnant, visited the doctor again. Sonography revealed that the baby had grown to the size of an 8-month-old fetus. Her weight had crossed 5 kilograms, and her brain development was equivalent to a fully developed baby. The baby is showing miraculous growth, the doctor remarked. We must publish an update in the same scientific journal. Scientists are closely monitoring this case. After consulting with their families, Ada and Avinash agreed. In their next visit, the doctor revealed, your baby has completed 6 months but shows no signs of premature delivery. Let me discuss this with senior experts. We must decide our next steps carefully. Avinash requested a second opinion from another renowned maternity hospital, and the doctor fully supported the idea. He provided a complete copy of all medical reports, ensuring the best possible care for Ada's miracle baby. What would happen next? Only time would tell. When they arrived home, both grandfathers and Avis aunt were waiting anxiously. What did the doctor say this time? Vaman grandpa asked Avi and Ada with concern. Both of them drank some water first, and meanwhile, they handed over the complete medical file given by the doctor to Grandpa. As he went through the file, there was complete silence for 10 minutes. I have a close friend who is a gynecologist in Boston. He is an expert in maternity cases. I'll show him this file. Avinash, when he calls us to his hospital, you will come with me. We'll get a second opinion from him, and then we can decide what to do next. I firmly believe that God will bring Ada's baby safely into this world. Ada and Avi, are you both listening to the Rudra prayers I suggested? Everything will turn out fine. Vaman grandpa assured them. He then sent a WhatsApp message to his gynecologist friend and calmly went to his room. Take care of the baby. Don't stress unnecessarily, Avis' aunt advised him. By now, in the past 3 months, Ada had learned a little Marathi and had started speaking it. Holding the aunt's hand, she smiled and said, why should we worry about taking care of the baby? The baby already has 2 grandfathers here and a grandmother in Boston to care for it. Hearing Ada speak in Marathi, both her father and Avis aunt couldn't help but smile. After all, they had now become lifelong family. That evening, Vaman grandpa's gynecologist friend, after reviewing all the reports, called them to his hospital. Shall I come with you? I am eager to know the outcome of your meeting with the doctor, Ada asked Grandpa. You're most welcome. The doctors there will be delighted to meet the mother of this innovative baby, Grandpa said with a smile. He took both Ada and Avinash along, and the three of them headed to the hospital in Aviskar. Since it had been years since they last met, the doctor warmly welcomed Vaman Grandpa. Grandpa introduced Avi and Ada, placed all the reports before the doctor, and explained the concerns regarding Ada's baby. After thoroughly reviewing the reports and examining both Ada and the unborn baby, the doctor said, "This is the first time I have come across such a case. I believe I read about it last month in a medical journal. Ada, your baby is going to be an exceptional case in gynecology and child development. It is fascinating and innovative. You and Avinash should feel proud. Your case will be studied across the world." Grandpa, Avinash, and Ada looked at each other, slightly puzzled. Ada needs to be under observation by experts in this field. I recommend you visit St. Elizabeth's Medical Center, maternity ward on Cambridge Street, Brighton, and consult Dr. Williams. He will be able to guide you further, the doctor suggested. 2 days later, Avinash, Grandpa, and Ada scheduled an appointment with Dr. Williams. After thoroughly studying Ada's case, Dr. Williams said, "The baby has already grown to the size of a fully developed 9-month-old fetus. I believe we should proceed with a C-section and deliver the baby. Delaying it could lead to complications. Let me discuss this case with my colleagues and experts across the US, and then we'll make a final decision. In the meantime, don't worry about the delivery. Everything will be fine. Keep visiting our hospital regularly. I will also speak to our top management to make your case a study case. Your pre-delivery, delivery, post-delivery, and baby care treatment will be complimentary from our hospital. You need not worry about the costs." Avinash responded with a smile. "Everything will be all right. Our baby and its dear mother should be healthy and happy, and they should go through this procedure smoothly. The treatment should not be complimentary. We are ready to bear all the medical expenses. Both the baby's mother and father come from well-to-do families. Everything will go well. Our blessings and best wishes are always with Ada and her baby," Grandpa reassured them. His unwavering faith was placed in Ada, the baby, the doctors, and, above all, his beloved God. At a meeting of the American Pediatric Doctors and Gynecologists Association, Ada's case was discussed. The experts collectively decided to perform a C-section in 15 days. The baby's development was complete, and keeping it in the womb any longer posed risks to both the mother and child. The doctors also agreed to monitor the baby's growth carefully post-birth. This unique child, born to a highly educated family, with two loving grandfathers, a newly wedded aunt, a British mother, and a handsome Indian father, was soon to be born in Boston, USA. In the latter half of the 7th month, all the doctors concluded that it was time for Ada's baby to be delivered. The baby had developed fully, and waiting longer held no benefit. Ada was admitted to St. Elizabeth's Medical Center, maternity ward on Cambridge Street, Brighton. Avinash was by her side, along with 5 or 6 close friends who were ready to donate blood or assist in case of emergencies. Within an hour, the C-section was successfully performed. Ada, exhausted from the delivery and the intense labor pains, had given birth to a baby girl. The birth had been complicated due to the baby's unusually high weight of over 6 kilograms. Despite the anesthesia, Ada had endured severe pain and had slipped into unconsciousness due to the trauma. The doctors were uncertain when she would regain consciousness. Had it not been for the C-section, the baby boy would have been at risk. Typically, newborn cry upon birth, but Ada's baby didn't. Instead, the baby observed the doctors for 2 minutes, then closed its eyes and peacefully fell asleep. Experts from around the world were eager to monitor the baby's first hours and days of development. The success of the surgeons and pediatricians depended on how the baby responded to its premature yet fully developed birth. Doctors from major global cities were closely following the case. Everyone was relieved that the baby was born safely without any complications. At home, Avinash's grandfather continued the recitation of the Rudra prayers without pause. When he heard that the delivery was successful, he prostrated before God in gratitude. Avi's aunt and Ada's father also bowed their heads in deep prayer. Ada, however, remained unconscious, overwhelmed by post-delivery complications. Everyone at home was deeply worried about when she would regain consciousness. For the medical world, it was a significant challenge. Ada's baby girl was immediately placed in an incubator. A full-body sonography revealed that her internal organs were as developed as those of a 1-year-old child. She was provided with oxygen tubes and was under strict medical observation. Since Ada was unconscious, the baby was given artificial liquid food and saline nutrition. On the second day, Ada still hadn't regained consciousness. Her condition was critical due to excessive bleeding during delivery. On the third day, doctors noticed that the baby had developed jaundice. The blood reports and symptoms confirmed mild jaundice, though the doctors weren't overly concerned. They started the necessary treatment and continued monitoring. By the third day, Ada was shifted to the ICU. Her blood pressure had dangerously spiked to 150 by 200, which was alarming for the doctors. The bleeding hadn't stopped, adding to the concern. Avinash couldn't bring himself to leave the hospital, nor had he yet informed both grandfathers and Avis aunt about the severity of the situation. He only provided them with minimal details, carefully considering their age and ability to handle the news. Inside, he was struggling with the weight of the unknown. When would Ada wake up? The baby in the pediatric intensive care unit, Piku, could not tolerate external food. Breast milk from the mother was the ideal option. But since Ada was unconscious, the doctors couldn't consider it. Ada's deteriorating condition was already a significant concern for the doctors. But feeding the baby, what and how, was becoming an even more urgent issue. Among the Piku doctors, a young physician, Dr. Eve, dedicated herself tirelessly to saving Ada's unique, extraordinary baby. She was so deeply involved with the baby that she couldn't even imagine a world without the child's survival. This baby must overcome all obstacles and grow up healthy. I must do my duty for the baby's survival. Dr. Eve muttered to herself, feeling an overwhelming sense of responsibility, as if she were the child's own mother. While the medical experts discussed possible feeding options, Dr. Eve stepped forward. May I suggest a solution? Can I breastfeed this unfortunate baby? I have experience in feeding milk to such needy infants. In my 5 years in the PICU, I've learned that by increasing the prolactin levels in my body, I can produce milk to nourish the baby. She spoke selflessly, addressing the experts with genuine concern for Ada's baby. The experts pondered over her suggestion. A young, unmarried woman offering to provide her own breast milk to a healthy baby whose mother had been unconscious for 8 days seemed like an unconventional but logical solution. Without proper feeding, the baby's life would have been at risk. But I believe you must take the father's permission before offering your milk to the baby. Your generosity is deeply appreciated, advised the senior doctor. I have no problem seeking his permission. I'm sure he will welcome my decision to feed his baby, especially since the mother is unconscious, Eve responded confidently. Dr. Eve met the baby's father, Avi, and explained the situation. I feel that your baby desperately needs breast milk. His mother has been unconscious for 8 days, and he cannot digest external milk. His health is at risk. Can I feed him my milk? I love and care for him and always pray for his survival. Please allow me to do this for him. When his mother regains consciousness, she can take over. Until then, I want to help. I have expertise in feeding babies like him. I have loved Ada's baby since she gave birth in our hospital. I will be overjoyed the day his mother recovers and can hold him herself. Tears welled up in Eve's eyes as she spoke. I will be forever grateful for your kindness. I will remember this for a lifetime, Avi replied emotionally. The past 8 days had been incredibly difficult for him, with both Ada and their baby fighting health issues. Eve's offer lifted a massive burden off his shoulders. He no longer had to watch his child suffer from hunger. Now, he could focus on Ada's recovery. That very day, Dr. Eve began breastfeeding the baby. The baby was finally free from the struggle of digesting artificial food. As Avi observed Eve feeding the baby, he saw an expression of deep satisfaction and maternal love on her face. It struck him this was the same look Ada would have had if she had been the one feeding their child. When Avi informed the grandparents at home about Eve breastfeeding the baby, they were relieved. However, he also subtly conveyed that Ada's condition was not improving. He noticed Ada's father become visibly disturbed, but he knew he had to share the truth with them at some point. Within 3 or 4 days, the doctors informed Avi that the baby's health was improving rapidly. When Avi went to visit, Eve was personally feeding the baby with maternal tenderness. Can I come in and see my baby? Avi knocked gently at the door. Oh, the baby's father is here. You're welcome anytime, even while I'm feeding him. I don't mind at all. I am a doctor by profession, but by nature, I am a mother, Eve said with a warm smile. How's the baby now? Is he doing well? How's his progress? Avi asked eagerly. He's doing great. We will discharge him from the ICU today itself. Come here. You can hold your baby in your arms now. I think this will be the first time he will feel the gentle, loving touch of his dear father. Eve carefully placed the baby in Avi's hands. As Avi cradled his child, tears filled his eyes. He never got the tender, loving touch of his mother, Ada. He is feeling his father's touch, but he has been deprived of his mother's first embrace, he said, looking at Eve. Eve gently patted his shoulder. I understand your feelings. I also believe that a mother and child's first bond is sacred. Ada will recover soon. Thank you so much for the care you have given to our baby. Not just as a doctor, but as a mother as well. I am truly grateful to you, Avi said, looking at her with deep appreciation. This baby is receiving attention from maternity professionals and pediatricians all over the world. Ada has given birth to a unique child. She will be well known in medical science, at least in America and Europe. And you, too, will be known as the father of such a wonderful baby. You should be proud, Eve said with pride. She had played a crucial role in the baby's survival, not just as a medical professional, but as a mother figure who had provided her own milk. Avi tenderly stroked his baby, as if trying to compensate for the love the child had missed from his unconscious mother. For half an hour, he held the baby close. Eve watched him. In him, she saw the heart of a mother, genuine and loving. After a while, the baby became hungry again. Restless, the little one cried out for milk. Take the baby, he needs his mother, Avi said, handing the baby back to Eve. Eve unbuttoned her shirt to feed the baby. She wasn't wearing a bra underneath. Like a mother eagerly responding to her child's needs, she pressed the baby gently to her breast. The baby suckled peacefully, and on Eve's face was a glow of fulfillment, the contentment of a mother nourishing her child. You are truly this baby's mother. You have proven it by feeding him. Once again, I thank you for taking such great care of my baby, Avi said sincerely. I feel deeply content in feeding such a wonderful baby. I am only 24 years old, but this is the first time I have ever experienced this kind of joy. Thank you, Ada, Avi, and this beautiful little baby. She makes me feel like I am truly a mother. Eve closed her eyes, overwhelmed with emotion as she nursed the baby. Avi stepped forward and gently kissed her forehead. A soft smile spread across Eve's face. I have given your baby a beautiful name, Adan, a wonderful baby of Ada. Do you mind if we call him Adan? Eve asked. It's a lovely name. We will call him Adan, Avi agreed. By naming the baby, Eve had, in a way, become his true mother. Is this just a coincidence, or has fate already written something for the future? Avi wondered, but he left the thought behind. Avi took both his grandfathers and grandmother to the hospital. By now, they were eager to see their daughter-in-law, Ada, and her newborn baby. They were also concerned about Ada's health. First, Avi took them to the baby's ward. Seeing the baby's progress filled them with joy. Thanks for feeding your milk to our granddaughter. God has sent her another mother from heaven. You are truly a loving mother first, and then an excellent pediatrician, Avi's father said, sincerely thanking Dr. Eve upon witnessing the baby's rapid progress. I find the utmost satisfaction in caring for this loving, handsome baby girl. By the way, I'm calling her Adan, the beautiful girl of Ada. Do you like the name Adan for this cute little girl? Eve asked Avi with a smile. Adan is a wonderful name. Its meaning is paradise delight or earth or fire, Avi's grandmother responded. I got this name from her mother, Ada, Eve said as she gently kissed the baby. Eve had become so attached to the baby that she seemed like her real mother. Can we meet Ada too? I would love to see and meet her. Ada's father expressed his strong desire. She is in the ICU. We will go inside one by one. You can see her, but she cannot speak with us. The doctors have given her several painkillers. She is in a deep sleep now, Avi explained to everyone. Has Ada seen her baby? Avi's grandfather asked. There was silence for 2 minutes. Has Ada seen her baby? He repeated. No, Grandpa. She has been unconscious since the baby's birth. She couldn't even see her own child. Avi hesitated, fearing how his grandparents would react to this news. Avi, it has been 10 days and you didn't tell us. I suspected you were hiding something from us. Never mind. Now, let's focus on saving Ada. What do the global medical experts say about her condition? Have all necessary details been shared with them? Act fast. We have little time, Avi's grandfather urged him with concern. By now, Avi's grandparents understood that Ada's baby was in safe hands with Dr. Eve. Their only worry was for their beloved daughter-in-law. Avi led them to the ICU. Ada's father went in first. Seeing Ada with an oxygen mask and tubes attached, lying unconscious, broke his spirit. God, save my dear daughter Ada. If you must take someone, take me instead. But please, save Ada. He prayed, looking up toward the heavens. As time passed, he did not come out. Sensing this, Avi's grandfather entered the ICU and found Ada's father sobbing uncontrollably. Come on, don't cry upon seeing Ada's condition. God is great. He will bring our dear Ada back to us, healthy and happy. Trust me, Avi's father tried to console him, though he was shaken after seeing Ada's critical condition. Now, in this serious battle for Ada's life, they had to stand by her with unwavering support. Avi's grandfather accepted this challenge from God with a brave heart. In an instant, he resolved to face this ultimate battle of his life with courage. And he was certain that God would grant them victory. Ada's rapid progress was a source of relief for everyone. She was now shifted from the ICU to the general ward. Eve, with a special maternity leave granted by the hospital's top management, was taking personal care of Ada. However, senior doctors and the hospital's directors were concerned about who would care for the baby after discharge. Eve had her own job and commitments, and once Adan was discharged, she would return to her routine work. But who would care for the baby at home? Ada was still unconscious in the ICU. Until she regained consciousness, doctors couldn't even consider discharging her. Moreover, her internal bleeding hadn't stopped, and her treatment was being guided by medical experts from the USA. With complications still unknown, her recovery remained uncertain for at least 10 to 15 more days. Avi was summoned for a meeting with senior doctors and hospital directors. They advised him to bring an elder family member along. The next morning, at 11, Avi and his grandfather arrived at the hospital. The senior doctors explained the situation. There is no one to take care of the baby and feed her mother's milk. We three are elderly. Avi must focus on his wife, Ada, here in the hospital. How will we manage the baby's feeding, bathing, sleeping, and health issues? We never thought about this before. Avi and his grandfather told the doctors. There was silence for 10 minutes. What is your proposed solution to this problem? The doctors asked. Can Dr. Eve provide any solution? Avi inquired. Eve has her own job and responsibilities. She has already gone above and beyond in caring for your baby. She has even fed her with her own milk, developing a special affection for the child. This is unprecedented in medical history. A virgin girl and a doctor breastfeeding a hospital baby for the baby's well-being. It's extremely rare. You must understand this, the hospital directors explained. I will find a solution. Give me just one more day, Avi requested. The meeting ended for the day. Meanwhile, Eve continued to care for the baby, cherishing the special bond she had developed. Despite knowing that Ada would be discharged the next day, she felt uneasy. The unique experience of nurturing this tiny, delicate baby had been driven purely by her selfless love. The thought of being separated from Ada filled her with sorrow. The next morning, Eve's phone rang. It was Avi. Good morning. I want to meet you today. Can you please tell me a convenient time? Avi asked. I'm at the hospital. Today, Ada is being discharged. I spent the whole night with her. Today, she will leave the hospital. I love her like my own baby. I will truly miss her company, Eve admitted. I know you love her and want to be with her. I have a suggestion. Can I talk to you personally? Will you please meet me today? Avi requested earnestly. Yes, you can come to the hospital. I'll be waiting for you, Eve replied and ended the call. When Avi arrived at the hospital, Eve was playing with Ada. Good morning. How are you? Eve greeted him. The room was decorated for the baby's discharge. Eve looked exceptionally radiant and cheerful. How do I look today? Today is the farewell day for many babies born in our maternity ward. Ada is one of them. I will miss her, Eve said with a smile. But her eyes, filled with tears, revealed the pain of separation. I have come today with a humble request. Will you please take leave and bring Adan home with you for a few days until Ada recovers? Please, you have loved her like your own baby. Will you accept my request? Avi asked, kneeling before her. Eve thought for 2 minutes. Yes, I agree with what you say. I will cherish this period in the company of your daughter, Ada. I will take leave and take my beloved baby home today. You take good care of Ada until she returns to normal. All the best to you and Ada, Eve replied joyfully. Another challenge had been resolved for Avi. Now, he could focus entirely on Ada's recovery. Eve took Adan with her and left for home with great joy and contentment. Avis, Ada, the decision to keep Eve with them was unanimously agreed upon by both grandfathers and Avinash's grandmother. Avinash was now fully focused on taking care of Ada. The next morning, Eve sent photos of Adan to Avinash via WhatsApp. She created a separate group for this purpose, accessible only to the two of them. That same day, another significant event took place. Eve installed cameras in every room of her house. She bought a mobile phone that displayed all the camera feeds and sent it to Avinash at the hospital through a friend. Now, no matter which room Ada was in, Avinash could see her. Eve had used the marvels of modern technology to ensure that Avinash could watch over Ada at any moment. Ada's health had started improving slightly. Her blood pressure was now within acceptable limits. The daily bleeding had also reduced. One night, at 2 a.m., Avinash received a call from the doctor. Come urgently to the hospital. Your wife wants to talk to you immediately. The call ended abruptly. Avinash rushed to the hospital and reached the ICU. Ada had regained consciousness and had something important to say to him. She removed the oxygen mask from her face with her hand. In a frail and exhausted voice, she spoke to Avinash. Avinash, I want to tell you something very important. I am going to heaven, closing my innings on earth. I wanted to have a full life with you, my love, but that is not in my destiny. Take care of our baby. I feel you should bring a mother for our daughter. I have a strong feeling that she is going to shine in this world. Take care of yourself, our lovely baby, your grandparents, and my dad too. Goodbye forever. Ada was exhausted just from speaking these words. She closed her eyes. Avinash kept looking at her. Suddenly, she tilted her head to the side. Avinash ran to call the doctors. The doctors arrived quickly. They asked Avinash to leave the ICU. For the next 10 minutes, there was a flurry of medical activity. Then, the commotion ceased. A doctor stepped out and said, "We are sorry. Ada is no more." Avinash was in shock. He rushed inside. The doctors had covered Ada's face with a white sheet. Her electrocardiogram displayed a straight line. Avinash couldn't believe that Ada had left him. After just a year together, both in career and personal life, she had merged into eternity. It was 4 a.m. Avinash stood by Ada's lifeless body, sobbing uncontrollably. He now faced the overwhelming question of how to break this news to both grandfathers and Pushpa Aji. And how would Ada's life be affected now? A deep, unbearable void had formed in his life. He had no idea where he would find the strength to face it. That was the truth. Avinash called his friends and informed them of Ada's passing. Some of them had seen her struggling after childbirth, but they never imagined her illness would end so tragically. He sent 2 of his friends to his house and 2 of his female friends to Eve's house. He instructed the friends going to his house to gently prepare both grandfathers and Aji for bad news without directly stating Ada's death. To the friends visiting Eve's house, however, he asked them to tell the truth, that Ada was no more. He was sure that the hospital staff in Ada's section had already informed Eve. Minutes later, he received a message from Eve. Just got the shocking news of Ada's unfortunate death. Take care of yourself and your entire family. I will remain at home, taking care of Adan. I am informing my colleagues at the hospital. They will help you with everything. Take care. Eve. Soon after, Avinash received a call from a colleague. Your father-in-law is extremely emotionally attached to his daughter. We cannot break this shocking news to him. Your father and aunt are also in a state of panic. It would be best if you spoke to your father and explained the situation to him. He might be in a position to convey it to others. Avinash called his grandfather. Grandpa, A serious event has taken place. Ada is no more. My friends and I are at the hospital. Please find a way to explain this to Ada's father and aunt without shocking them too much. The situation demands it. His grandfather took on the responsibility. My prayers to Lord Rudra for so many years did not come to Ada's rescue. May God grant peace to her soul. I will find a way to tell her father and aunt. You take care of yourself because you must now raise your daughter until she grows up. All the best for this difficult task. I will hang up now. Grandfather returned home. There was a call from the hospital. The doctors said Ada is very serious. Her medical complications have worsened. Even if we rush to the hospital, we may not be able to see her one last time. We have lost our dear Ada. God has taken her to heaven. Please believe me, she is watching over her baby and her dear father every second, constantly. He conveyed the news to Ada's father and Pushpa Atya. Ada's father had feared that this day might come. He had even expressed this fear to Pushpa earlier. But today, his beloved daughter, the one he had raised alone for 20 years, had left him behind and gone far, far away. For her baby, too, Ada had vanished in an instant. A cruel and invisible force had taken her away. The three of them, Ada's father, Pushpa Atya, and Avinash's grandfather, got into the car and left for the hospital. There, Ada's body had been placed in a hearse. Through the glass coffin, Ada looked peaceful, as if she was smiling, as if she was saying, "Remember me just like this," always smiling. Ada's father saw her for the last time. The hearse started its journey towards the cemetery. Ada's final journey had begun. At the cemetery, a grave had already been prepared for her. Everyone took one last look at her. A star born on earth was now setting off on its final journey to heaven. As the soil covered Ada's body, her father's tears wouldn't stop. He longed to say, "Ada, please take me with you on your final journey to heaven." Everyone returned home from the cemetery. Avinash's friend had recorded everything from the hospital departure to the moment Ada's grave was covered. Avinash planned to keep that video safe. Someday, when his daughter grew up, he would show her the video of her mother's final journey. He had preserved Ada's memories in video chips. She would continue to be a part of their lives in some way. For 2 days and nights, both grandfathers and Pushpa Atya could not sleep. Ada's untimely departure had deeply affected them. Avinash visited the Harvard University campus. He informed his classmates and a professor about Ada's passing. Everyone was shocked. Despite the sorrow, they took solace in the fact that Ada's baby had survived. Harvard's directors had read about Ada's case in medical journals, but they had never imagined that the woman in the case was Avinash's wife. "I won't be able to attend college for some time. I am seriously considering leaving my MBA at Harvard and returning to my job at Microsoft. That would be best for me and my baby," Avinash told the directors. "Who is taking care of your little baby? You only have elderly relatives at home. We are concerned about the baby's future," they said. "For now, Dr. Ila is taking care of my baby." She was a staff member at the hospital. Looking at my situation, she voluntarily agreed to help. She loves my baby and cares for her as if she were her own. I have a suggestion. if you don't mind, if Dr. Ila cares for your baby like her own, why don't you ask her to be the baby's mother permanently and your wife, just like Ada? If both of you agree, it would be a great decision. I never thought about that. How could I ask her? She might feel uncomfortable or find it inappropriate. He couldn't even imagine such a thought, especially regarding someone as dignified and professional as Ila. Avinash called Ila on her mobile. How are you? Is baby Ada troubling you too much? Avi asked Ila. No, but I feel like she's looking for her dad to come and say hi to her. Why don't you come over and spend some time with her? She would be happy to play with her dad. You will also get a change of atmosphere and mood. Come home and relax with your baby. She must be waiting for you, Ila said gently yet insistently. I will definitely come to your home right away. I will also enjoy spending time with her and your lovely company, Avi exclaimed. He quickly hailed a taxi and reached Ila's place in 10 minutes. Ila's home was beautiful and cozy. Inside, in the bedroom, Ada and Ila were relaxing and playing together. Hearing the doorbell, Ila said, Avi, come in. She hadn't locked the door. She had already seen Avi arriving through the security camera outside. Avi stepped into the living room. Come into the bedroom. We are both here. Ada is eagerly waiting just for you, Ila called from inside. As Avi entered, Ila welcomed him warmly. On the bed, Ada was curiously looking around. Avi gently lifted Ada from the bed. He realized that in the past 25 days, due to Ada's illness, he had barely spent time with her. He also noticed that Ada had gained 3 kilos during this time. It felt as if Ada was beginning to recognize her dad now. Ila had bought many new clothes for the little girl, making her look even more adorable and cute. Her face is just like Ada's. Ada has given you another Ada as a gift. You should never miss her throughout your life. Forever, Ila said to Avi. You are taking a lot of effort for our baby. I am grateful to you for that, Avi responded. I love her a lot. She is like my own daughter. I feel I did the right thing by bringing her to my home. She feels like she belongs here. I am enjoying her company immensely. I feel like I am in heaven, Ila said sincerely from the bottom of her heart. Just then, Ada started fussing and crying slightly. It's her feeding time now. I'll feed her. Meanwhile, you can relax, Ila said. She removed her gown and unhooked her bra, then began nursing the baby with the love and care of a real mother. Avi felt a little odd watching Ila feed the baby, though he appreciated her motherly affection. I'll make coffee for both of us. Can I use your kitchen? I make excellent coffee. I'm sure next time you'll definitely ask me to make coffee for us, Avi offered. Ila smiled and permitted him. In 5 minutes, Avi prepared delicious coffee and brought the mugs into the bedroom. By then, Ila had finished feeding Ada, and the baby was now in a playful mood. It seemed like Ada knew that her dad had come to see her. Ila handed Ada to Avi. Now you can play with her. Her tummy is full, so she won't ask for milk for at least an hour, Ila said, sipping her coffee. Wonderful coffee. I liked it very much. From now on, you should make the coffee. I will truly enjoy it, Ila said enthusiastically. Thanks for your compliments. From today onward, I'll take care of making coffee, Avi replied as he started playing with Ada. Ella watched Avi's affectionate interactions with Ada up close. To her, Avi seemed like the ideal father. Despite losing Ada, he was searching for her essence in their daughter, purely with a father's love. Avi, can you call Ada by the name Ada itself? I suggest this because your baby looks just like her mother. Your never diminishing love for Ada will remain alive when you call your lovely daughter by that name. Is that acceptable to you? Ella asked Avi. Avi was deeply moved by this way of keeping Ada's memory alive. We will call this lovely baby Ada. My family members will love and appreciate your idea. Avi agreed. He glanced at Ella with warmth in his eyes. Ella sensed the love in his gaze, but she chose to ignore it. Maybe she was just imagining things because of her overwhelming love for the baby, she thought. After an hour and a half, Ada fell asleep in Ella's arms, just like a baby sleeping in her mother's embrace. Once Ada was asleep, Ella and Avi came out of the bedroom into the living room. She will sleep for 2 hours now. You can come back anytime you want to meet your baby. I know you love her immensely. Her dad has every right to meet her at any time, even during the night, Ella said affectionately. You love and care for my baby so much, as if you have become her real mother. I have a request for you. Would you mind marrying me? As a loving mother and my young, beautiful wife? Avi suddenly asked Ella, catching her off guard. Ella didn't know what to say. She had truly fallen in love with Ada. But Avinash Chafekar, an alumnus and faculty member of Harvard Business School, a former Microsoft employee, an IIT Mumbai M.Tech graduate, and the beloved grandson of his Pune-based grandfather and aunt, as well as Ada's devoted husband, offering her this proposal was something she had never expected. For 5 minutes, there was complete silence. Will you become my young, beautiful, ever-charming wife? Please? Avinash asked again, kneeling down humbly in the living room. Ella was stunned. She tightly embraced him and gave him a deep kiss. Dear, I will think over it tonight and let you know tomorrow. Good night, Ella said, pulling away from the hug. Avi felt an inexplicable thrill in her embrace and kiss. He thought perhaps it was due to the exhilarating and thrilling possibilities running through his mind. For Ella, it was a unique decision that she had to make, one that would determine her entire future, her career, and her life ahead. That night, Avinash prayed to God, let Ella become Ada's mother. He drove home, unlocked the door, and entered quietly. At 2 a.m., his grandfather was still chanting Rudra prayers. His aunt and Ada's father still had their bedroom lights on. Hearing Avi's footsteps, both of them came into the hall. How is the baby? You must have just returned from meeting her. Does young Ella manage everything well? She may know baby care as a doctor, but actually being a mother must be challenging for her, his grandfather said. How is Ada's baby girl? Is she fine? Fit and healthy? Ada's father asked. The baby is fit and healthy. Ella is a perfect mother. She is taking the utmost care of the baby, not as a doctor, but as a loving mother. She calls her baby by new name, Ada, to always remember her mother, who is no longer in this world, Avinash said, his voice filled with emotion. You should invite Dr. Ella to our home for the baby's first month birthday. We will officially name her Ada. we will celebrate her first birthday. What mistake has the baby made that she shouldn't have a first birthday celebration? Ada's father said, wiping his tears. Even he felt that their entire home needed to recover from the sorrow that Ada's passing had left behind. We will definitely celebrate Ada's first birthday. Let's bring a cake, flowers, and new clothes for Ada, our most beloved granddaughter. Let's do it for baby Ada's joy and in memory of a marvelous mother. Avi's grandfather agreed. For the first time in days, there was a glimmer of happiness on Avi's aunt's face. That night, Avinash kept seeing dreams of Ada and Ila. In one, Ada was lovingly entrusting her little girl to Ila's care, bidding them all farewell with teary eyes. Ada was floating upwards, peacefully, contentedly. The first month birthday of little Ada, the day of little Ada's first month birthday arrived. Early in the morning, Avi brought Ila and Ada home. Pushpa auntie welcomed them inside after performing a traditional ritual for Ada and Ila. Holding the baby in her arms, Ila bowed and touched the feet of both grandfathers and grandmother in respect. Shubham Bhavtu. Avi's grandfather blessed them both. God bless both of you. Ada's father also gave his blessings. Avi and Ila sat on the sofa. The baby looked exactly like Ada, almost as if Ada had been reborn. Ila, too, was stunningly beautiful, even more youthful and graceful than Ada, everyone thought. As they all relaxed and are passed in conversation, Ila spoke to everyone warmly, her gentle and cheerful demeanor filling the home with joy. After some time, Ada fell asleep on Ila's lap. Pushpa Aji, grandmother, took Ila and the baby into the bedroom. You relax here with your baby. Come to the sitting room when she wakes up. I'll send Avinash inside to make you feel at home, she said. She then asked Avinash to stay with Ila and the baby to talk with her and make her comfortable. As she left, she softly shut the door behind her. Meanwhile, in the sitting room, both grandfathers and Pushpa auntie sat together. Ila is a loving and caring mother. I am grateful that God has sent her to take Ada's place, my daughter's place, Ada's father said, overcome with emotion. I feel the same. Ila is extraordinary. She has taken care of our baby selflessly, without expecting anything in return. She has even nursed the child for an entire month. It reminds me of Lord Krishna, who was born to Devaki but raised by Yashoda, Avi's grandfather remarked. He then folded his hands in prayer and handed a sacred Rudra book to Pushpa. Let's chant Shri Rudra now. Let the baby and her mother stay inside. We will pray to Lord Mahadev and wish them both a bright future, he said. The chanting began. Pushpa auntie, Ada's grandfather, and inside the bedroom, Avi, Ila, and little Ada all listened, consciously or unconsciously. Evening celebrations after an afternoon nap, little Ada and the others woke up refreshed. By 5 in the evening, everyone was busy preparing for the celebration. Each family member, including Avi and Ila, dressed up in the new outfits they had brought for the occasion. Avi and Ila were getting little Ada ready, dressing her up beautifully. Ila herself wore an elegant, delicate dress that Avi had chosen for Ada's birthday. She looked so radiant, almost like a bride walking to her wedding. With all preparations complete, Ada, Avi, Ila, both grandfathers, and Pushpa Aji gathered in the hall. A beautiful birthday cake had been ordered. Just before the celebration began, Avi's grandfather took out two large garlands made of blooming roses. Then, unexpectedly, he turned to Ila and asked, Ila, will you marry my grandson, Avinash Chafekar? Neither Avinash nor Ila had imagined such a moment, especially not today on Ada's birthday. I request you to marry my grandson, Avinash. You have already become a loving mother to his daughter, Ada, the grandfather continued earnestly. Ila smiled and looked at Avinash. My dear Avi, will you marry me? She asked. Avinash stepped forward, deeply moved. It is our fortune that someone as loving and caring as you is ready to become our family's daughter-in-law. I am truly honored by your acceptance. Yes, my darling, I will marry you, he said. Avinash took Ila's hand gently and kissed it lightly. Grandfather handed them the garlands, and they exchanged them amid cheers and applause. Bowing respectfully, they sought blessings from the elders, who congratulated them warmly. Everyone's faces reflected immense joy. Ada now had a mother she could truly call her own. And so, in a blessed and joyous atmosphere, with Ada's loving parents, grandparents, and family gathered around, the cake was cut, marking the beginning of her first-month birthday celebrations. A father's story that evening, as they all sat together chatting, little Ada and Ila's presence made the conversations even more delightful. Ada's father began to share a story from his life. Today, I'd like to share my life story, especially with Ila and Avinash. A long time ago, I experienced something similar to what is happening now. When Ada was born, her mother passed away. That was 26 years ago. I was the only one left to care for Ada. I tried my best to raise her alone, but then a compassionate lady doctor, Miss Gentle, stepped in and took care of Ada. Thanks to her, Ada grew up well and later earned an MBA from the London School of Economics. She joined Microsoft and fell in love with Avinash, my dear son-in-law, innocent yet exceptionally brilliant. Ada never wanted my story to repeat. She believed in raising her child alone without marrying Avinash. But Avinash loved her deeply, and so she finally agreed to marriage. Yet, fate repeated my story. Ada died during childbirth, and her daughter survived. You are now naming Ada's baby after her. I sincerely hope this story does not repeat itself for a third time in the future. That's why I've shared my truth with you. Modern science may not believe in such patterns, but Avi and Ila, when Ada grows up, please tell her this story only if you feel it's right, so that history does not repeat itself once again. His words were powerful, sending a chill through the room. Avinash, an IIT graduate, and Ila, an MBA from the London School of Economics, listened intently. Avi's grandfather and aunt, both highly educated, also took a moment to process the tale. A story you have told us may be real, Avinash finally said. But the moral of the story does not define our future. We deeply sympathize with you and with Ada's mother. We will take every necessary precaution while raising our daughter. There is no need to fear for her bright future. She will be unique, unlike anyone before her. Even now, Doctors worldwide are amazed at her rapid progress. She is already smiling and showing facial expressions on her first month birthday. We will remember your story, but we will not tell it to Ada. Ila and I will ensure that she grows up to be one of a kind in this world. All we need are your blessings, Avinash said confidently. His grandfather watched as Ila firmly held Avinash's hand. She also held Ada in her arms with unwavering determination. Seeing their confidence, the elders felt reassured. Today, Avinash had gained a new companion for life. Dr. Ila had now become little Ada's mother. With unshakable resolve and immense pride, a unique child with great courage, Ila began raising Ada. By Ada's second month birthday, she was already trying to sit up. Ila coordinated with doctors and researchers from the United States. Harvard University's Medical College had sponsored Ada under their Children's Progress in the Millennium Program. To support Ila, the hospital allowed her to consult patients from home, ensuring she could closely monitor Ada's rapid progress. By the third month birthday, Ada could sit properly. She had 3 tiny teeth emerging on the top and 3 on the bottom. She even started speaking in her own unique, incomprehensible baby language. Scientists worldwide were now astounded by Ada's exceptional development. But to Avi's grandfather, this was nothing surprising. Avinash himself had shown similar brilliance as a child, winning an IIT Mumbai scholarship while still in school. He had led an extraordinary life, and now his daughter Ada was destined to be even more remarkable. Ila, Avinash, and the entire family firmly believed Ada was not just special, she was one of a kind. Ada was almost a year old now. Surprisingly, she had started holding her mom and dad's hands and walking around shopping malls. Even more remarkable was her physical and mental growth. She was as developed as a 3 or 4-year-old child. One day, Ila took Ada to a playgroup for admission. The teacher there asked Ada simple questions in a baby-friendly manner. "Welcome to our playgroup. Do you like school?" Ada not only answered the question, but also asked in return, "What do you teach in your school?" "I already know the alphabet from A to Z. I can count from 1 to 100. I know all the food items my mom cooks for me. I can name all the stars. I even know the periodic table of elements. What extra will you teach me in playgroup?" The teacher was stunned. She doesn't need a playgroup. She needs to go directly to school, probably 2nd or 3rd grade, the teacher exclaimed. Ila looked at Ada with pride, kissed her forehead, and smiled. At just 1 year old, Ada was deemed overqualified for playgroup. That evening, when they shared the incident with both grandfathers, Ada's grandfather from Pune folded his hands in gratitude to God. With great reverence, he took the sacred ash from the incense burning before the deity and applied it to Ada's forehead. Little Ada spread her hands toward her grandfather, smiling. "Please, Grandpa, lift me up. I want to hug you now," she said. Her grandfather picked her up and kissed her forehead. "I love you, my child," he whispered. Ila watched this moment with immense contentment. Ada's gift that evening, at 6:30 p.m., Avinash returned home from Harvard University. Ila shared Ada's latest achievement with him. As always, Ada was eager for her father's love and attention. She cherished the short time she got with him each evening before falling asleep at 7 o'clock, peacefully saying good night to her mother and bidding farewell to the day's fun with her mom, grandparents, and great aunt. Ada's first birthday was approaching, and in just a year, she had made extraordinary progress. One day, while playing, Ada turned to her grandfather and asked, "What are you saying?" "I am reciting the Rudram," he replied. "Do you want to listen?" "Come on then, Grandpa. Recite Rudram, and I will listen," Ada said cheerfully. Her grandfather began chanting the sacred hymn. Ila noticed Ada closing her eyes and listening with complete focus. Curious, Ila called her father and aunt to witness this moment. Ada sat there, eyes closed, listening to every word with deep concentration. Half an hour later, when the recitation ended, her grandfather looked at Ada. She opened her eyes and said, "Shall I recite the Rudram as you just did? I feel like I remember it by heart." Her grandfather was taken aback. "Oh, do you really think so? Then go ahead. We are all listening." Ila encouraged her. Ada quietly sat in front of Lord Shiva's idol, bowed in prayer, closed her eyes, and began reciting. Her voice was steady, clear, and flawless. Everyone, her mother, both grandfathers, and her great aunt, was astonished. In just one hearing, Ada had memorized the entire Rudram. When she finished half an hour later, her grandfather folded his hands and bowed to Lord Shiva. Ada, who wasn't even a year old yet, had surprised everyone with her incredible memory. Ada's phenomenon spreads the next day was Mahashivratri. Her grandfather performed a special abhishekam for Lord Shiva with Ada's help. Then, he asked her to recite the Rudram again. Ada closed her eyes and chanted the entire hymn fluently, without hesitation. Ila recorded the entire recitation and uploaded the video to a group of scientists and medical experts. When Avinash watched the video, he was amazed but not entirely surprised. He already believed in Ada's extraordinary memory, but now seeing it in action only strengthened his conviction. Meanwhile, the video circulated among experts. Scientists and doctors were astonished that a child waiting for her first birthday could memorize and perfectly recite the entire Rudram. Ila added a note. Although Ada has memorized the hymn, she does not yet understand its meaning. However, for a 1-year-old, even this achievement is extraordinary. A birthday unlike any other Ada's first birthday was celebrated with her parents, both grandfathers and great aunt. Also present were the hospital staff who had witnessed her birth and the tragic passing of her biological mother. Of course, no one mentioned Ada's mother's death. For everyone present, Ila was now Ada's loving mother. Scientists from the Harvard Pediatric Progress Center also attended. After observing Ada's incredible intellectual development, they conducted an informal assessment. Her mental abilities matched those of a 4-year-old, and her maturity level was comparable to a 5-year-old. For an hour, the experts asked Ada questions to gauge her intellect. She confidently answered most of them, exceeding their expectations. For the few questions she didn't know, she responded boldly. "You can ask my mom, dad, grandpa, or great aunt those questions. Both grandfathers and great aunts sat in quiet admiration as their granddaughter amazed everyone. Avinash and Ela watched with pride, completely absorbed in Ada's brilliance. A grandfather's goodbye after witnessing Ada's remarkable growth. Avinash's grandfather started reminiscing about his old school in Baner, Pune. For years, he had set aside that part of his life to support Avinash's education and career. But now, seeing Ada flourish, he felt his journey had come full circle. One evening, he called Avinash to his room. Avi, you and Ela are doing wonderfully together. I feel it's time for me to return to Baner and teach again. Perhaps there are other young Avinashes waiting for me there. You will take care of Ada. I know that. Just take care of yourselves too. Your MBA will be completed in 2 months. And I'm sure Harvard will offer you a professor's position. Ela, for Ada's sake, might have to leave a hospital job to focus on her growth. So, book my flight. India is calling me home. His eyes glistened at the thought of leaving his family behind. Avinash pleaded, please stay until my convocation. You and Aunt have done so much for me, my home, and my Ada. Let me at least have you there for this milestone. His grandfather smiled gently but remained firm. Son, Ada's other grandfather and aunt will soon be leaving for London too. You must now focus on your family here. I will call you every day from India and we will always be connected. But let me go now. A bittersweet farewell, both sets of grandparents had their flights scheduled, one to Mumbai and the other to London. Reluctantly, Avinash booked the business class tickets. At the airport, little Ada stood with her parents, watching as her beloved grandprince prepared to leave. Avinash and Ela bent down with Ada in their arms and said, Grandpa, Grandma, please bless us. With your blessings, we will succeed. The grandfathers looked up at the sky, folded their hands, and whispered, May happiness and prosperity always be with you. Then they turned and walked away. 3 lives, once intertwined, now headed in separate directions, unsure of when they would meet again. When Ela, Ada, and Avi returned home from the airport, the house felt strangely empty. Both Grandpa and Grandma have gone to their destination. Our home was always filled with happiness with them around, Ela said to Avi. Avi and Ela became lost in memories of their grandparents. Avi couldn't shake off the feeling that, at any moment, both grandfathers and their aunt grandmother might suddenly appear before them. The next morning, Avinash woke up early and immersed himself in studying for his MBA. Ela and Ada were still asleep. The previous night, before going to bed, Ada had gone into both bedrooms and wished her grandparents and aunt grandmother a good night. She was certain that her special good night wish had reached them on their respective flights. By 5 in the morning, Ela woke up and greeted Avi. Good morning, darling. A new day has begun without Grandma and Grandpa. They must be traveling to their destinations, Avi said, holding Ela close. Ela kissed him gently. Now you must concentrate on your studies. Your final exams are in a month. I will take care of Ada and myself. You focus on your studies. Avi resumed his studies while Ela completed her morning chores and started exercising. An hour later, Ada woke up. Good morning, Mama, Dad, Ada said cheerfully. Good morning to you too. How are you? Dad asked, embracing her affectionately. I am fine. Let's hide from Mama. Come inside my blanket, Ada whispered to Avi. Both of them snuggled inside her soft blanket. Where have Dad and Ada vanished? Dad was here this morning and Ada was sleeping in bed. Ila pretended to search for them. Here I am, Mama. Dad and I are hiding. We're playing hide and seek with you. Ada giggled, throwing off the blanket and jumping into her mother's arms. You naughty girl, Ila laughed, hugging Ada tightly. Ada then settled comfortably in Ila's lap. Mama, today I feel like I can see something I couldn't see before. Around the gas stove flame, I see a light surrounding it. Outside in the sunlight, I see extra waves of light coming out of the sun's rays. How am I seeing these things differently today? Ada asked curiously. Ila sensed something had changed in Ada's vision but couldn't quite understand what it was. Let your dad go to college first. Then we will visit the eye specialist today and see what the doctors say, Ila reassured her. She informed Avinash about Ada's observation. He was in a hurry but acknowledged Ila's plan to take Ada to the eye specialist and quickly left for Harvard University's campus. Ila booked an appointment with the eye specialist for 10 o'clock. After finishing their breakfast, she and Ada arrived at the clinic on time. Ila explained Ada's unusual observation to the doctor. The eye specialist conducted a thorough examination. Ada's vision was completely normal. She says that today she can see something she couldn't see before. The light surrounding the gas stove's flame and extra waves coming out of sunlight. Why is she noticing these things differently today? Ila asked. The specialist asked Ada what exactly she saw around the gas stove flame. I see a light surrounding the gas stove's flame. In the sunlight, I see extra light waves. I have been seeing these since this morning, but never before yesterday night, Ada explained. Let's discuss this with our head of department. Only he can guide us on what to conclude in this case. This is the first time I've encountered such a phenomenon, the eye specialist said. He sought permission from the head of department, and upon being called in, they proceeded to his office. The department had listened to the entire case carefully. He was already familiar with Ada through medical journals and knew she was an exceptional child. This, however, was the first time she had visited their clinic. Ada, don't worry. We will switch off the lights and then turn on the gas stove. You tell us what you see, the head of department instructed. They turned off the visible lights and ignited the gas stove. Tell us what you see? He asked Ada. There is a gas stove flame, and there is a light about a foot wide surrounding the flame, Ada replied. Oh yes, she has vision for infrared light, which common humans do not have. I believe she might also be able to see ultraviolet light. Let's experiment with that as well, the department head said excitedly. They brought a vacuum-based ultraviolet light generator and switched off the tube lights before turning it on. This looks similar to violet light, Ada said. Excellent. She has the capacity to perceive both infrared and ultraviolet light, a rare visionary ability that no other human has. Congratulations, Ada. You are a unique visionary, the eye specialist exclaimed enthusiastically. Ila immediately posted the findings in the medical group that monitored Ada's development. Ada is a different kind of visionary. Today, ophthalmologists discovered that she can see both infrared and ultraviolet light. Ada, a wonderful baby girl. That evening, Ila and Avi went to a five-star hotel to celebrate the discovery. Avi had another piece of good news to share. Placing Ada in a baby chair, he eagerly raised his drink. Cheers! Now tell me the other good news, Ila said excitedly. I have a surprise for you. I have been offered the position of president at Microsoft, New York today. We will be moving to New York soon, Avi announced joyfully. Wow! Congratulations to you. You're going back to Microsoft. Your new career will flourish, and we will be happy with our little girl, Ada, Ila said, finishing her drink in excitement. She looked at Ada, who clapped joyfully, unaware of the magnitude of the announcement. Now, not only had Dad secured a prestigious job in Microsoft, New York, but Ada was also about to embark on an incredible journey, exploring the effects of her extraordinary ability to see infrared and ultraviolet light. We should share this good news with Grandpa and Auntie in London and Pune too, Ila suggested. Avi sent messages to both, confident that these news updates would bring them immense joy. That night, as the family retired to bed, Ada fell asleep within minutes, exhausted from the eventful day. Ila and Avi, after tucking her in, settled into the living room. It had been a long time since they had found such a moment for themselves. Dressed in an elegant, delicate nightgown, Ila sat gracefully on the sofa in front of Avinash. I feel so relaxed today. Two great pieces of news have come our way. Your appointment as the president of Microsoft is a prestigious achievement. Moving to the USA also gives me peace of mind. In 2 years, Ada will grow up and I can find a good job in New York. Isn't this a great beginning for all three of us? Ila asked in a soft, enchanting voice. Ila, it's only because of you that I am enjoying these moments. You sacrificed so much to become Ada's mother, my beautiful wife, and a loving daughter to my father and aunt. Because of you, I completed my MBA and secured this excellent job. I love you. I can give you anything you ask for. In fact, I have something in mind. Whenever you want, we will bring home a baby brother or sister for Ada, a cute little one for you, Avi said, kissing her deeply. No, Avi, I want to give my utmost attention to Ada. She is growing beyond any scientist's expectations or beliefs, Ila said firmly. Avi pulled her into his embrace. Their love and passion rekindled in a way that had never felt so magical before. Even the full moon outside their window seemed to be watching, silently admiring their beautiful bond. The results from Harvard University were announced. Avinash was awarded the most outstanding student of the year by Harvard University. Ila and little Ada had also been specially invited to the university's graduation ceremony. The university had arranged a special intelligence test for Ada, who was just 1.5 years old. First, she would listen to a 5-minute lecture on artificial intelligence. Then, after 5 minutes, she was expected to repeat the entire lecture exactly as it was delivered. At home, Avinash and Ila had already explained to her what artificial intelligence was. They also played 4 YouTube lectures on the topic for her. Have you understood what artificial intelligence is? Ila casually asked Ada. Mama, I have understood everything about it. You and Dad, please give me the opportunity to deliver a brief speech in front of the students and professors of Harvard Business School. I am sure you both will enjoy my speech. Ada said effortlessly. Avinash looked at Ila and smiled slightly. Let her give her brief speech. We will enjoy it just as others will. Avinash said to Ila. The ceremony began. The directors first honored the entire graduating class with a 15-minute speech. Then, awards were distributed to students who had demonstrated exceptional academic excellence. When Avinash Paranjpe was awarded the Most Outstanding Student of the Year honor, the applause continued for a full 5 minutes. As Avinash stood there, his mind flashed through the events of the past year and a half. He also thought fondly of little Ada. She had come all the way to Washington, D.C., eagerly awaiting this very moment. The convocation ceremony for the entire MBA class concluded. In a moment of joy and celebration, everyone tossed their graduation caps into the air. We are welcoming a special guest for today. She is only 1.5 years old. She is the sweet and wonderful daughter of today's most outstanding student of the Year award winner, Mr. Avinash Paranjpe. Give her a big round of applause, announced the director. Little Ada confidently walked onto the stage. She bowed slightly and greeted everyone with folded hands. She is a remarkable child, recognized by scientists worldwide. We will now read a short note on artificial intelligence in front of her. She will then repeat the note exactly as it is in front of all of us. Please give her a big round of applause. The directors introduced Ada. A loud round of applause echoed through the hall. For the next 10 minutes, a brief note on artificial intelligence was read aloud for Ada. Everyone was eagerly waiting to see how well she could memorize and recite it. While listening, Ada closed her eyes. She had to repeat the entire note on artificial intelligence word for word by heart. Ada bowed once again. Then, she recited the entire note flawlessly. Not only that, but for another full 10 minutes, she shared additional insights on artificial intelligence that were not included in the original note. The audience erupted in applause once again. Avinash and Ila exchanged a satisfied glance. Avinash had once achieved a unique feat by delivering a lecture at the London School of Economics at the age of 18. Now, at the age of just 2, Ada was mirroring his success. Overcome with nostalgia, Avinash wiped his moist eyes. He stepped onto the stage, lifted Ada onto his shoulders, and proudly carried her back to the audience. The applause continued to roar. At Harvard Business School in Washington, D.C., Ada had firmly laid the foundation for her future success. Today was the last day for Avinash, Ila, and Ada in Washington. They were scheduled to fly to New York early the next morning. Avinash took a final tour of Harvard Business College, reminiscing about his MBA days. The old buildings of Harvard Business College, the town's main streets, shopping centers, towering skyscrapers, and even the quaint houses on the outskirts, all of it would soon become a memory. In just a year and a half, he had already forgotten the streets and landmarks of London. Even after spending 6 years at IIT Powai, he barely recalled the campus atmosphere anymore. After studying for over a decade at New English School in Pune, he now felt distant from that place as well. Banner Village had also faded from his memories. Avinash had always embraced the new and let go of the past. That very habit was now taking him away from Washington and Harvard University unknowingly. After a 2-hour flight, the plane circled New York City. Avinash looked down and was mesmerized by the city's grandeur. The world's #1 city in the IT sector, New York, was now calling him towards the next step in his career. After spending an hour at the airport, Avinash and his family took a taxi to the 4-bedroom apartment provided by Microsoft. Located on the 20th floor, the apartment offered a breathtaking view of New York City. Skyscrapers stretched in every direction. The Empire State Building and the Statue of Liberty stood tall, enhancing the city's charm. It was now 11 a.m. Shall I go to my office for 3 hours? The outgoing president, who has been transferred to another branch, wants to discuss some important matters with me, Avinash asked Ila. No problem. You can visit your office. Meanwhile, I will unpack our luggage and then take Ada out for some shopping, Ila replied. Ila and Ada left for shopping, while Avinash dressed in a suit and headed to his office. Before leaving, he sent a message to his grandfather and aunt, informing them that they had arrived safely in New York. 2 hours later, Ila and Ada returned home. Ila took out her laptop and sat on the bed, checking for any messages. Ada sat beside her. What are you doing on that electrical notebook, Mama? Ada asked curiously. I'm checking my messages and emails. Give me 5 minutes, Ada, Ila replied without looking away from the screen. Can I send some emails to someone? Maybe one of your or dad's friends? Ada asked. I will teach you how to read and operate a computer. Then you can use it too, Ila replied without taking her eyes off the screen. You finish your work first. Then we will learn the computer together. You can show me and I will run it. Okay? Ada said enthusiastically. You shouldn't say run it. You should say I will operate it. Ila corrected Ada with a smile, playfully pinching her cheek. You want to learn everything just now only. Ila teased Ada lovingly. Ila pushed the laptop towards Ada. First, learn to type A to Z, then all the numbers. They will appear on the screen. Then, I will show you how to operate it further. Is that okay? Yes, Mama. I will type them and then I will ask you further questions. Ada took the laptop and started typing. It was her first time using a computer. Ila recorded the entire moment on her mobile phone. Perhaps, for the first time in the world, a child not yet 2 years old was learning how to use a computer. Once the recording was complete, Ila sent the video to Avinash. Within 30 seconds, he responded with a thumbs up. At 6 in the evening, Avinash returned home after finishing his office meeting, but Ada was still sitting at the computer. Her mother, Ila, had taught her to say small sentences. The same sentences were now appearing on the screen as she spoke them, using a speech-to-text program. Although Ada could not read yet, she found it amusing and unbelievable that her words were being typed on the computer. At just a year and a half old, this was an exciting discovery for her. One day, Ela had a discussion with doctors in New York about which school and grade Ada should be placed in. The doctors advised her to consult a child psychologist. A child psychologist can predict her real age, one doctor explained. She will tell you which school and grade would be appropriate for her. Ela booked an appointment with the child psychologist. That evening, at 8 o'clock, Ela and Avinash took Ada to see the specialist. As soon as the doctor saw Ada, she asked, "How old is she? 4 years?" "No, she hasn't even turned 2 yet," Ela replied. "She is showing remarkable progress. That's why the doctors suggested we discuss her schooling arrangements with you. By the way, I am also a pediatrician and MD in pediatrics." "Then you should know more than me," the psychologist said with a smile. The doctor conducted an IQ test, an expression test, and examined Ada's physical and mental growth. "We need to examine her brain and internal systems with certain tests," the doctor said. "I will prescribe these tests to be done at a specialty hospital tomorrow. But I can already tell you, Ada is at the level of a 5-year-old child. You can teach her at home, following a structured 3-month study plan per standard. She will complete 4th grade within a year. By the time she is 3, she can directly join the 5th grade. As the mother of an extraordinarily brilliant child, you must forget your profession as a pediatrician and dedicate yourself full-time to Ada. She is a superhuman being. You and your husband are the parents of a superhuman being in this world. I hope you understand the responsibility that comes with it." The psychologist spoke seriously, making them aware of their enormous duty. "Yes, we understood this even before she was born," Ela responded. She was forced by surgeons to be delivered early because she had already fully developed in the womb at just 7 months. Scientists across the world are eagerly tracking her progress. "I know that I may have to dedicate my entire life to this stunningly brilliant and beautiful child." Both Ela and Avinash radiated confidence and pride, both in Ada and in themselves. "I will come to the hospital for her tests tomorrow," the psychologist said warmly. "I feel honored to be associated with her, not just as a psychologist, but as a close relative who cares for and loves this extraordinary child. Would you accept me as a part of your family?" Ela hugged her. "We are proud to have you as a member of Ada's family. Please join us tomorrow for her brain and body growth tests. We are new to New York, and we would be happy to have you with us." That night, the psychologist arranged for a morning appointment with a medical expert for Ada's brain and body growth mapping. She gently held Ada, kissed her forehead, and blessed her. "God bless you, my lovely daughter. You are going to be exceptionally talented. The whole world will watch you with pride." The next morning, Avinash, Ela, and the psychologist met at the hospital's scan section. Ada's brain and body scans were completed within an hour. In between, breakfast was served to everyone. Half an hour later, the reports arrived. The doctors confirmed that Ada's brain had developed to the level of an adult. Her body organs had grown to match those of a 5 or 6-year-old girl. "We suggest that she study at home up to the 4th standard within a year," the doctors advised. "Let's observe how she progresses further. Her future will be determined by her own pace of development." Ella and Avinash made the bold decision to homeschool her up to the fourth standard. Naturally, Ada's grandfather in Pune and her aunt in London happily supported this decision. Ada completed her fourth grade studies within a year. She was now astonishing scientists worldwide by answering their knowledge testing questions through the computer. Today was Ada's third birthday. She was about to give a speech on new science and technology in today's world before an audience of renowned scientists from around the globe. The little 3-year-old walked confidently to a large chair and sat down. 5 scientists sat on the stage, eager to ask questions after her speech. Avinash and Ela sat in the front row, watching. Although Avinash was present at the event, his mind drifted into the past. Memories of Ada's extraordinary, unique, and awe-inspiring journey played vividly in his heart and mind, moving forward like a story unfolding before his eyes.